We got so many fucking mics. We forget which one we use sometimes.
We got one.
We got so many Shure SM7Bs.
Every now and then you just have one too many microphones, and it's very confusing for
Shure SM7Bs. Pick up the best sound.
the Shure SM7B. It's a great microphone for a documentarian such as myself.
And pornography.
And pornography. And for...
I just feel like 90% of your show is just you doing impressions, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of annoying.
Well, because impressions...
They're not good. They're not accurate.
Yeah.
Impressions, they show that you are an observant person in the world. You know, you come off as a person who is paying attention to the people around you. You can take in their little, you know, to their quirks.
German just sounds evil, no matter what.
Yeah.
The German accent.
You know what's crazy?
Like, oh, hello, welcome. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Hello. Hello, I come in peace.
Ja, this is das Fruitenmenschen.
Guten Morgen,
Every
I
syllable,
come.
you're like, ah!
Yeah, I know, you're like, ah. You're like, I feel like you're in uniform.
Yeah.
Every
Sorry.
syllable, it hits different. It hits different.
Who's Guten Morgen, I come bearing fruits.
Guten Morgen, Fraulein. It's like, okay.
Would you mind if I smoke my pipe?
Germans, like, I don't give a shit at all, but that probably pisses off Germans so much.
Yeah, right. Monsieur l'Appetit, would you mind?
Bonjour l'appétit.
Monsieur l'Appetit, please make yourself at home. We are in your house.
There's gonna be like a diasporic Kurd or black person in Germany who's watching this, and they're gonna be like, "No, it's not annoying. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you."
Right.
Right. Like somebody had to.
Yeah.
Somebody had to, finally.
It's like they're still too comfortable with the tonality of it. They haven't really switched the vibe.
Right. You think after all they've done, you would switch up the accent a little bit, you know?
Like soften the...
Try to make people a little bit less, you know, a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd love to just tap into that discourse for 1 second. Like we were German before Hitler, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Yeah.
we can't let one man define us. Yeah.
That was one bad guy, and we all just kind of listen. But that's mostly the guy.
We already gave him the mustache. We can't let him have the culture.
Like, there were a lot of people behind that guy, though.
Yeah, I love when historians are like, "This could have happened anywhere. Anyone would have done the same."
Right.
Have you ever talked to a right-wing person who's like, "You probably would have been a Nazi too"? I probably would
Probably
have.
not. I hope not.
I probably literally wouldn't have. Maybe would have been one of the hundreds of thousands of people that left.
Right.
Well, that was like, oh my God.
Right. You mean me?
Yeah.
Like, you mean me or a hypothetical person? Me?
Right.
It's like the human mind's really fascinating. When dominant, you'll just do whatever someone tells you.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Right. It's like, well, let's think about the people rallying in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania today versus us right now.
it's like you don't think there's any implicit bias involved in that submission
Any
to
historical
power?
precedent at play here?
It took like a long time for them to seize power too. It wasn't like
It was
It wasn't
years.
right away.
it was like a
Yeah.
decade. It took a long time.
Yeah, and a lot
And
of
it was
like,
normalized for years.
yeah, and a lot of political loopholes. Like, nothing going on right now in the current atmosphere or anything like that.
Right.
Trust me, people.
Yeah, I was gonna
Trust
say,
me, people.
I love how that's our version of it. It's
Yeah.
like this is a fantastic Subaru. I love the detail in it. It's just a scam artist. A beautiful,
It makes
sexy
perfect
deal.
sense. It makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
It's the McDonald's version of
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Like Hitler,
Beautiful cup holders.
Hitler was like a shitty little short angry fuck who like represented how pissed off Germany was after World War I, getting fucked over
Right.
from World War I.
Yeah.
And Trump is just like, I'll make a sexy deal with you. We're gonna do it. Wonderful.
He's just a fantastic businessman, He's just really his business acumen. He runs a country like a corporation that happens to burn people alive.
Literally, like he probably would have been like, Hitler, there's no charisma.
The outfits are great.
Yeah.
I really love them. But
What's the obsession with beige? Can you break it down for me? The brown shirt.
Hugo Boss, I hear he's homosexual.
well, I was gonna say it's like interesting to like try and like unpack or unravel the. I mean, there's been 1,000,001 fucking articles and think pieces about Nazi Germany and then like the parallels with Trump in the U.S. But like, it'd be interesting to. I haven't, because I don't kind of sit in the. I call it like the political circus thing, and like all the drama and all the. I don't. It's
the characters of the TV
it's
show.
Literally, it's literally bread and circuses shit. When we could literally in the real world be forging the next system into reality. You know, as poor and working class people, if we really wanted to. But it would be interesting to kind of like look at Trump's timeline currently and like the cultural dynamics that are unique to the U.S. versus like Hitler in his time. Yeah. And it's like the main thing I think about is Trump's, and it's not even just Trump, it's kind of like the ruling class based in the US. There's like something distinct about it in terms of like the short-sightedness and like kleptocratic nature of it. Yeah. Like everyone's just really just thinking about as close to the immediate like person and family. Yeah. It's not as much of a, I guess it depends on what sector of the ruling class we're talking about, or the petty bourgeois, I guess. Because it's like there's people who definitely have an agenda that goes beyond, oh, I want to be rich immediately myself.
Right.
And people talk about all the time, like the religious fundamentalism and like, yeah, just like fundamentalist Christian shit, Bible thumper shit. But I don't think Trump is in that. Like, and I think he like represents another stratum of the ruling class that is more just like, I don't know, if you were to turn the cameras and mics off and get them in private and be like, what is your philosophy? Mm-hmm. And you were somehow able to get an honest answer. You get the sense that there's this almost like Randian objectivist or nihilistic tinge to their orientation. Like they know this shit is going down, and sure, maybe it's not inevitable, but like I'm not giving up this pleasure that I'm getting right now. Yeah. You know?
I mean, I like when you say nihilism, I'm thinking back to it. You remember when Trump was on his like campaign tour, and he was like, you know what my favorite book is? The Bible.
Oh,
yeah, pulls out a Bible, and you like absolutely know he can't quote a single verse from the Bible.
And then someone asked him, what's your favorite Bible verse? He's like, I guess I like them all.
I love the whole thing. Yeah. Jesus wept.
Probably
Jesus cried. Jamie Foxx is doing that impression of him. He's like, I love Def Jam. He's like, well, what's your favorite Def Jam album? I love the whole thing. See what you're trying to do? I see what you're doing.
Don't
I
box
see what
me
it
into
is.
one.
It's like, I love the whole discography. But it's like, I feel
Death Row.
I feel like Oh yeah. Yeah. But he was like, but just the fact that he has no philosophies going on. It's just like pure unadulterated populism to the point where like he'll go in any direction you go, and it's so unresearched and unrehearsed to the point where like I feel like a savvy like just like quote unquote white trash presenting person could just like trip him up so easily and just be like, yeah, what do you think about immigrants? He's like, get them out of here. And he's like, well, I think they should be like, I think the border should be a little more porous. I think even we should abolish borders. And he would just be like, yeah, abolish the borders. Yeah, I've always said that.
Yeah, I think he cares most about, like, to me, it's just the fusion of white supremacy and then the idea, the convincing that basically like the business side of it, fusing that with white supremacy was like, no, I'm just about business and smart economics and just, conservative values, but it's all just white supremacy at the end of the day. So I think that's the similarity there.
I do think it ties into because I've had this conversation with so many people over the years, and it does tie into this point about like there's a lot of people who just be like, well, no, he's just a narcissist. He just has a narcissism disorder. Everything else is secondary. There's people who have that philosophy, and I think there's weight to it. But it just, I find it interesting in the sense that, it's like, because it's like white supremacy, capitalism, all of these things are just in service to his narcissistic agenda that, sure, his identity plays into it, but other things play into it too, Power domination plays into it, but then it's just like pure optic shit too. Just how does it look? How do people perceive me? How am I perceived in the world? Right. And I don't think he's actually, I think he represents a cross section. I keep using this phrasing, but I think he represents a cross section of the ruling class, but not like a majority of the ruling class. And that's why I've heard his favorability, like his ratings have been lower with, not that most Republicans are objectively working class or whatever, I'd imagine. But his ratings have gone down, and I feel like if we talk to a lot of conservatives, and if you follow like conservative news, there's more Republicans, conservatives that are just like, this guy's fucking up the business. This guy's fucking up our money. He's not actually loyal to our program. He's just about himself, and he's fucking us over in the process. Well, that's where I think the white nationalist populism comes into play. Right.
You're arguably more powerful in a country where there's this many poor working class people by appealing to that than necessarily appealing to the ruling class. The ruling class will see it as like a power grab and attach themselves to it.
Right.
But he's not trying. He doesn't give about what Bezos or Zuckerberg he's trying to win over the common racist into his side.
Right. And I think to both your points, it's like the typical Republican establishment is like, you can't be so mask off about this shit.
Exactly. Like you're saying the quiet stuff aloud.
Like, come on, man. Yeah. Just like we've had a whole program going for decades. Yeah. Like, you can't just pull the curtain back like that. Like, everybody knows what's going on, and it's just riding on this plausible deniability, and nobody can really quite prove it,
Yeah.
And when you got all these people just clamoring behind this one man under those exact pretenses.
Well, they're just behind all those Republicans, because that's where it's going. It's going to the mask off shit. That's the hot new shit. Let's actually just be mask off about it.
It's the same thing on it's the same thing on the neoliberal side.
Oh yeah.
Not to again, this gets into this whole dialogue about quote unquote horseshoe theory, which is bullshit. It conflates the quote unquote extremes of the quote unquote right and left. And just to be clear, when people are talking about horseshoe theory, implicit in that framing is that the quote unquote extreme left is essentially like the authoritarian left, which is just right wing. It's just like it's the same top down authoritarian logic that the right embraces.
Right. I think it's a lot more helpful to think about it in terms of that Tupac quote. It's like we're at the bottom going for the top. Yeah.
Right.
It's like if you think about distribution of power in that way.
Exactly.
And like that's
vertically,
Yeah. And like your aspirations, even like where do you see yourself?
And there's also like
progressing to in it.
By that like logic making the point that like the absolute center is the most anti-authoritarian.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's just not. It's not plotted along the proper graph.
This is like what like Elon Musk. He tweeted like something like, "Oh, I can't remember." It was like
the left and the right need to be equally unhappy from censorship for it to be good censorship.
He said multiple things in this. It's the same.
It's all
just this neoliberal
high school debate class.
Right. It's like you're too far that way, man, and you're too far that way. Listen to the voice of reason here. Okay, I'm the voice of reason. I'm on neither side. I'm on neither side. I'm on neither side. They're both bad. And it's almost like it's also this myth of neutrality and like apolitical. Like it's like no, everything is political. Everything is political. Everything is about power. Everything is about capital. Everything is related to that. You can't escape it. So by taking a point like this stance of neutrality and like being quote unquote apolitical, what you're really just saying is I'm falling in line with the prevailing and dominant logic of the systems that we're in. That's all that means.
Yeah. Okay, so
whether you're conscious and aware of it or not.
You telling me I can't base my whole political identity on the fact that I don't want to annoy people at the bar? Is that what you're saying? I can't base my whole identity on that. I don't
really like to get into politics.
Hey, come on, we're having drinks right now.
Yeah.
Like, dog, we're literally at a fucking meeting.
Yeah. That's why it's like, no, let's be real about what do you want? What do you want in your life?
Yeah.
And then it's like when you have enough of those conversations, you're like, then you're getting to the imagination conversation.
Yeah.
It's like you talk to one person and you could have good intentions when it's like, oh, we need higher wages and we need health care for all and we need whatever. And it's like, okay, we're still thinking within the confines of like this logic and system. Can we just for 1 second imagine outside of that for 1 second?
It's like, I mean, as long as this shit prevails, sure, those things are great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad to have $10,000 less of student debt. But what if I just had no student debt?
Right.
Yeah.
What if that wasn't even a thing that's on my mind?
What if I didn't need to work to survive?
Yeah.
Instead of like higher wages, I don't have to worry about working to survive anymore.
Speaking of mask off, the dude who fucking tweeted, like, what if I didn't have to worry about having to pay off my fucking debt and either go into the workforce or go to the fucking army and risk my life just to pay off some shit that I'm not even using? I'm not using my degree. I got a degree in psychology. I don't know shit about brains.
Right. Right.
I don't know anything. Can you imagine if I was in the army right now and it's just like, hey, how do you feel? How do you feel about
what's up with your mind?
Hey man, how do you feel about me killing you right now?
Yeah. How do you feel about this grenade I'm gonna toss?
Fucking
I got a 200-person drone strike quota. How you feel about that one?
yeah.
God, that's the craziest. People who have drone PTSD from like just commuting to like some office park in the middle of the country and then logging into Drone Strike Simulator 2022 and then
your manager pats you on the back and is like, "It's just like a video game. Remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that, guys."
Yo.
And he gives these quarterly pep talk. I don't know if this actually happens. I would like to imagine it does.
Right.
There's like quarterly pep talks where this like heavy set balding guy just in a polo, like a tan polo, walks in the room and he's like, "Guys, remember what we always say. Treat it like a video game. Okay? Have fun. Have fun. It's a bonus. It's a bonus if you kill somebody. Just have fun. You okay there, buddy? Just relax a little bit, okay? Just relax. Really. It's like you're playing a Nintendo GameCube. Okay,
I don't know if I can do.
That's what y'all play, right? Nintendo GameCube.
I mean, that was a long time ago. I don't know if I can do this, man. I don't know if I can keep doing this.
Come on, you got
it's like a DualShock 2.
You got 100 bodies you need before the end of this month. So.
No, man, I already the first 45 felt like a lot, and I feel
all right. Well, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's what my dad always said to me.
Drop the joystick.
Drop the joystick.
I'm pissed now because we might even have to edit this out, but a fucking drone strike, like The Office, Parks and Rec, drone strike would be an amazing
No, we're not
series.
editing this out.
No, I'm saying that idea so people can't steal it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be funny as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sketch.
Just like Jim from The Office being like,
right.
Our boss is crazy. I am going to kill people. But.
Right. And Michael Scott is like the most rational person in the office.
Yeah.
I've been saying for years, like, I feel like Xbox is just for war criminals. I feel like that's what that console is for.
Like, how?
They just, I mean, first of all, it's just the vibe. I don't like the color scheme is a very militaristic.
It's the investment in Call of Duty too.
It's the Call of Duty thing. Well, Call of Duty is also on PlayStation, but I feel like all the like
Xbox,
it was exclusive to 360 for a
there's
while.
an exclusive.
The exclusives are like war, or just all war shit, like Halo, Gears of War, all
the
this
green
shit.
color motif.
The green,
Well,
yes.
all the Call of Duty games are like, they're like with the military.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. It's a recruiting tool. For
and
sure.
didn't Microsoft design their like fucking drone training shit or whatever?
Probably.
Am
I'm
I
sure
crazy?
they're running on PCs. I'm sure they're running on Windows.
Somebody fact check me on that.
I'm
I don't
sure
wanna,
drone
like...
strikes are done via Windows. It's not on Linux. It's not on like open source shit.
Ubuntu.
Yeah. I like Mozilla Firefox for my drone strikes. Yeah. I mean, like, I've noticed too that like military recruiting aesthetics, like the advertisements, police shit and Call of Duty all have the same like guy walking through smoke vibe.
Yeah, right.
I live near a U.S. Army recruiting station and walked by them explaining to probably 14-year-old children the benefits of joining the Army.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
And I wanted to like light myself on fire and run into the building.
It's like, let them drown in debt for a little bit first, you know? Like
little bit of debt, never hurt nobody.
What motivation do they even have yet?
Yeah,
I just got distracted thinking about somebody firing a drone from a MacBook.
Just like it's giving me the pinwheel.
Can you imagine that level of like dystopian warfare, like state collapse?
Yeah.
Like the state collapses and then Amazon is outsourcing drone operators all across the planet.
Right.
Bezos is like, yeah, we got 1,000 in Norway right now. We got 1,000 drone operators in Norway.
Elon will tell you that. Elon will tell you that his drones detect water bandits better than mine do, and it's not true.
Right.
It can sense people with empty stomachs and who are dehydrated from miles away.
I haven't practiced a proper Bezos.
It's
by
just
the way,
always.
in case that wasn't clear.
It's always
like
sucking
he doesn't deserve that to say.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Yeah. That's how I feel. I've always felt that. It's like he doesn't. He's not deserving enough.
It's like always a guy kind of sucking on a mint.
Yeah.
Always just kind of, well, actually, I don't take meetings before 11 o'clock.
Just go on YouTube and watch videos of him laughing specifically. Like, he has the craziest laugh.
Joey Molinaro.
It's a villain laugh.
TikTok.
Like, it's a villainous laugh.
Joey Molinaro on TikTok does a great one. He's like, hell yes. Like, that's, he nails it.
Yeah, he sounds like if, like, the president of a fraternity was melting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, that's accurate.
I'm melting.
Oh yeah, we did that.
It's like
it's almost like a Mike Myers, Austin Powers villain. Like his swag.
Baby.
Like a character in the universe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Amazon, I watched the first episode.
Oh, did
of
you?
Rings of Power.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Really?
I'm never gonna be sold on an Amazon TV show. Dude, I really don't. I really believe that I'll never. I'm already biased against TV shows in general. Like I don't care to watch TV shows.
Yeah.
But then having the Amazon smile. An ugly ass logo, by the way.
Yeah,
always in the interface. Like it's like seeing a
when
Walmart.
You pause it, there's you could tab over to buy the Fellowship of the Ring on Amazon. It's just sitting there the whole time. You can buy the book.
It feels like watching something on Walmart, a Walmart streaming site. It's like my brain processes it the same way.
Yeah, it feels like when they have the TVs at the gas station, like at the pump.
Oh yeah, it's like. You'll be watching something, if an Amazon package gets delivered, it'll literally give you a notification.
That's disgusting.
What?
Yeah, it's wild.
We've fully integrated everything your whole life. You know, if you sign up and have your body health information with our health services, we'll tell you your heart rate and your pulse as you're watching the films, so you can really see when you're getting really excited. We can all see that together. It's really great, very integrated system where we are taking over the world. I don't know if I made that clear.
And your body now.
Yeah.
Here's your body temperature.
We'll tell you every single person on the planet who has the same heart rate as you in the moment watching the program that you're watching. Isn't that exciting?
Same blood type. How much blood you're losing currently?
Yeah.
The Ring camera just goes a ding dong.
There's a package here.
There's somebody at the door.
Cowardly lying. But that being said,
we're throwing out so many Black Mirror like freebies to writers right now.
Right. Yeah, they need to do a CEO of a horrifying tech. They probably already have, but
yeah, they need to revisit the robot dog, the like cop dog scenario.
Oh,
they should do like follow-ups on all the shit that is now real life.
Yeah,
because they got the
I
cop
liked
dogs,
the recording shit from your eye one. That's like from the first season. That's a classic.
I remember that one.
What were you gonna say though?
Oh, I was just gonna say the show cost $715 million. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy cost 280
altogether.
Altogether.
Now, is that an inflation thing or is that a?
No, I don't even think so. I think that's spending a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
I was.
We can do that.
Don't worry.
You're on Amazon.
We got cash on hand.
Liquid.
It's wet.
I was surprised how not bad it was. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's very epic. There's clearly a lot of money in it, but it's like.
Right.
And what's cool about it is there's like not a single actor in it that you would recognize.
Yeah.
But they're all really good.
Right.
It takes place before the rings were forged.
Okay.
So it's about when the ultimate baddie in the Lord of the Rings universe, Morgoth, like shortly after he was destroyed, Galadriel, it's like about Galadriel and Elrond, like just hanging out.
Right.
She's trying to find Sauron, and then it cross cuts to like this elf who's like at an outpost in like the men territory, and he's like flirting with some human woman, and then there's like Harfoots, like hobbits and shit, and in the map's just like zooming around Middle Earth going to. I was really surprised how watchable it was. You should.
Is Bruce Willis in it?
No, but
I feel like I'm just really.
There's equally sick people in it, probably.
I think I'm.
Cut that out.
Equally sick
No.
people.
I had context for it. I'm like the whole time as soon as you said, "Oh, there's like no one you'd recognize in it," I'm just like, I just had
Such
this
an
image.
incentive to watch.
No, well,
Yeah,
I had an image of just like this redneck consumer who's just like, I ain't watching this. Mel Gibson's not in it. I ain't watching this. Bruce Willis ain't in it. I can't watch nothing with no stars in it.
Yeah,
But that's cool. If you have that
nobody's-
much money, you don't have to.
Yeah.
That's out of the equation. It's like, we
Right.
don't have to have stars in it. We just have so much liquid cash.
Dude,
Right.
it's crazy. I'm just like
I could be wrong on that, but
I'm a
that's what I
big
would
fan
think.
of the. Like, I started watching the HBO Game of Thrones prequel, and I was
Yeah.
not entered. It was okay. Like I could get through it,
Yeah.
but like this was literally like there's a story. See, this is why
Is Bruce
I
Willis in
think
it?
this is why I think like this show is interesting, because it's like Game of Thrones showed you that the moment TV writers with good source material don't have any source material left,
Mhm.
they are fucking morons and they don't
Yeah.
know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So this is like a show made from actual good source material because it's based off the Silmarillion and like the
Right.
appendices and shit. So like, but that problem still hasn't been solved. That's why like these Disney shows are terrible.
Yeah.
That's why like these fucking HBO shows are terrible. I mean, it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah. I have I think I'm just tired of like, and granted the Silmarillion's been around for way longer and but like I think I'm just over every universe. The second I see that they're trying to branch out into like a multiverse situation, just the second I get that
Right.
taste, I'm just like, all right, I'm done. Like I tried to do the Star Wars TV, and there are some that I like. I liked Visions.
Mm-hmm. Did you like Mandalorian at all?
I didn't finish Mandalorian.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of that churning out of it it's in the news, and then they have another series the next day. I'm just like, oh, I'm just over it. Like I watched a new Dragon Ball movie, and that I saw a tweet before I went into it that was like, it feels like they're trying to do MCU type shit.
Oh, shit.
And I
really?
walked into it. It had to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
One of the
I've heard such mixed things, but some people were saying it's awesome.
Well, here's the thing: is if I saw it with like a packed theater and everybody was like laughing and joking around the way we were, I would have had, and I still had a good time. That's the thing, is like the theater experience was a good time, but it's objectively a bad movie, and anybody who's telling you it's good is a liar. They are lying to you. Like that movie to me felt like, I don't know if y'all have had this experience. You know when somebody hasn't seen Dragon Ball and you have to explain to a grown man some shit that you've watched for 30 years from childhood to now. And then as you're explaining, you hear all the shit that's like, why do they do that? Like, this movie felt like explaining Dragon Ball Z to an adult person.
You felt like almost embarrassed by the material a little bit.
Yeah, it was like, there were certain things where it was so self-referential, where they would be like, hey, you remember when you did that back in Dragon Ball Z, the episode 296?
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, man, we all remember.
the reluctant, like, yes, of course, I memorized. Yeah.
It's like, there was a line where he was like, Piccolo's flying a spaceship, and he's like crashing all over the place, and I forget who it was. They're just like, dog, can't you drive? He's like, no, I never got my license.
Oh my god,
like fuck you, man.
Like a filler episode reference.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it felt like that. It felt like all the little like periphery Dragon Ball shit that people have talked about for years. Like the whole premise of the movie is basically fan service for everybody that knows that Dragon Ball Z was supposed to be about Gohan. And that's them just picking up those pieces and being like, here you go. Here's your shit.
The question that I have, or like the thing that I question, I guess, is like, is it possible because this has not been proved to be true yet, can you actually take a fucking world that someone's built, and maybe there's a popular franchise, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever, based on it, and then completely separate from the main spine of that story, that saga, that whatever that creates that world, create an equally interesting story of lore within that world that lives in its own, it doesn't require fan service or pulling characters or timeline shit. That's never been done. Every single one of these shows, it's like, yeah, the Death Star, I hear they're making, it's just like, it's always like, it needs
Bruce Willis. I feel like until Bruce Willis is put into the equation or scenario, we are not going to be seeing anything like that in our lifetime.
Do you know what's up with Bruce Willis right now?
He has some type of right.
Yeah, he's not
doing right. What is it?
He's got like dementia.
Oh, yeah.
Like he did 50 movies in a year because he knew he was like done.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was sad.
Damn.
I feel bad for
making
the joke, but
but what's the Haley Joel Osment movie?
Sixth Sense.
Hard. Yeah,
hard.
Absolutely. I've never seen.
We gotta have an M. Night Shyamalan. You haven't?
No, I love Signs though.
No, man. This is Sixth Sense is M. Night Shyamalan's magnum opus, man. That is it. Yeah. That is his.
I feel like I've just like always known what it's about and what happens in it.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
that's fucked.
Well, that's just culture. It's like
I didn't have that. No, I watched when I watched it the first time. I did not have it spoiled. I hadn't had it spoiled.
But so that's also a test. Does the movie completely rely on its spoiler to be good?
I don't think so.
No. It's still a great movie.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, and it's baffling because the rest of his films like pale in comparison to that movie. Yeah. But that movie is so fucking good.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
I've personally, I've never experienced that with like a dope director.
Yeah,
I know it exists though, for sure.
Where they have one good idea, or
like a one-hit wonder director.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Freaking like I remember
like original screenplay directed, or at least were involved.
I can't think of one to that same level. Of fall off.
Yeah. Where they're like known and they keep getting chances off of how good the first one was.
Yeah.
You know?
And a part of me is still like hoping for another M. Night Shyamalan.
Almost like Rian Johnson to a degree. Like Rian Johnson did Brick, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is really good. And then Looper, I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
I was a kid when I saw it, but
do you like Knives Out? As I was watching it,
was like every other Rian Johnson movie where it's like, you don't know what you're doing. Like you're just like
I already feel bad. It's like he's been spanked for years on it. I almost feel bad, but I still feel that. I'm still angry.
It's like I like that you're having fun, But then there's moments where I think you really think you're smarter than you are.
Yeah.
And I don't trust your hands. I don't trust being in your arms.
Do you mean that from a storytelling perspective or from okay,
and then it's like, okay, this actually came together and was entertaining. I don't feel like I got robbed from watching it.
Yeah.
But it's still just like there's this smug film school like fart smell around what he does. But he's also
it's like
done
he's
good stuff.
constantly farting in his corduroy pants.
Yeah.
But talking shit as he's doing it, like he's hot shit, but he's farting.
But
in
you
his pants.
smell like BO.
Yeah.
I feel like with that movie, it was like there was so much hype around it, where everybody seemed to love it, and by the time I got to it,
it was Knives Out.
Yeah.
I went in with low expectations because I'm like, oh, this is Rian Johnson, director of The Last Jedi. So
I just didn't watch it because it was the director of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Did you all watch Mark Hamill's like the compilations of his press run shade?
I've never
Rian
watched
Johnson?
that, but I know he was like, this isn't Luke Skywalker.
So funny. And there was one that is so good, like they saved the best one for last, where because basically you can tell he's being fatigued as the press run goes on and on and on, to the point where the last interviews and events he's doing, he just gets like lazy and sloppy, and it's like he's trying to
starts telling the truth.
Yeah, he's trying to like walk this tightrope of like doing his job and like promoting the film, but being honest. Being honest. He's trying not to be dishonest while promoting the film.
Right.
And it just starts tilting more and more to just like, this is hot ass.
Right.
Yeah, but look up the compilations. They're so funny. They're so funny.
I watched a couple. I think I watched a couple different versions of it. He just goes so fucking hard after a certain point.
Yeah,
like,
this isn't Luke Skywalker. That's the point he gets to, where he's openly in front of everyone just being like, yeah, I just felt like Luke would never do this. Yeah, and then he'll do it. He'll do it for 5 minutes, and then he'll be like, but I just and he like it's like he struggles to find the resolve to then so they can move on.
Right. No, there's it's funny as fuck in the early ones.
So funny.
In the early ones, he's trying to be cordial, and he's like, "Look, you just gotta understand. It's new. These are new people. These are people who grew up with the films.
He
and
started that way.
It's their own take. It's not gonna be what you want.
He just got worn down.
Yeah.
Got worn down to the bone, where he was just like, all right, it sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And yes, I felt this way since the beginning. It's not Luke. It's not Luke.
Well, it's like Luke in those movies is like a pissed off old man.
Yeah.
Luke has been a one-dimensionally optimistic character the entire series.
He gave the fuck up.
Yeah.
And ran away.
Like he was willing to he was willing to die and get zapped to death instead of killing his Hitler dad.
Right.
That's how compassionate he is. And then he's just like, the
my
Jedi
Hitler
order's bullshit.
My Hitler dad won, okay?
Yeah.
My Hitler dad won.
Just Rian Johnson, man.
Yeah.
And then it's just like Daniel Craig's doing like a southern accent the whole time. Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
He says,
You know what I think the slippery slope was in the process? I feel like it was. Are we good on that? Oh, okay.
You're saying a slippery slope?
Yeah, I feel like the slippery slope was there was some initial conversation in the pre-production stages around like keeping it from being this like nostalgic pastiche.
Yeah.
And that became an opening for just like, because it's like you didn't choose like you didn't curate the right team to experiment with that story.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it was an order of operations thing. Like they were like, oh, this is our team. And then it's like, what are we doing? And they rightfully, you don't want it to just be this nostalgic. Ideally you want to do something experimental or progressive with it.
Yeah.
But they did it to the point where the characters and what's going on thematically is literally like narratively out of touch.
Right.
And out of spirit
of
the original
My friend Jared makes the point that it feels like you're watching a movie about a guy like trying to play mind games with people on Reddit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
oh, you don't know what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
No, you thought.
Yeah.
You thought that's what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snoke. Yeah, you
More
thought he was the
creative than
big
that.
I am
bad.
in control. I have the control of the saga.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing that you're talking about, the ideal version of what you're talking about. J.J. Abrams does, like with those Star Trek movies. It's like nostalgic and but it
in the right
feels
places.
futuristic.
Right.
It feels like fucking the first Star Trek
Those
movie.
lens flares.
It's fucking awesome. Like literally, those lens flares are fucking awesome.
I haven't seen it. Oh,
Dude, the first Star Trek movie. Have y'all ever seen that?
Lens flared the fuck out.
Dude, it's.
You're talking about J.J. Abrams.
What did I say?
No,
You said
I'm
J.J.
asking.
Yeah,
I'm the
J.J.
clarifying question.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams. He freaking I like his Star Trek movies and the Force Awakens. I thought there was a lot of good stuff.
Right. You could have. There was something salvageable from that point.
But it's just like I don't know why. It's like I know it's because of they got to make their money and they got to do safe shit. But like, if someone builds a whole world for you, that's so much of the work done.
Yeah.
Just make a good story. Like I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a slice of life movie that took place in like a world where blasters exist, like a noir, and like maybe the blasters fired one time, but it hits someone and it's like their fucking bones and shit are like the same. Like it's like super realistic because it's like that's the one time the laser's getting fired. It's just like you have this cool ass world, and you can't like there was an idea to make like a Seven Samurai version, like a Star Wars version of Seven Samurai, where like some Jedi go and like liberate like a planet.
Right.
Which it felt like Rogue One could have been similar to that.
Yeah.
Vibe-wise.
And that was starring Bruce Willis, right?
yeah. I'm gonna liberate Kashyyyk. You Imperial bastards need to leave these Wookiees alone. That was the thing I was gonna mention about M. Night Shyamalan. Was I started watching that, what is it, Invincible or Incredible? What's the fucking super
Unbreakable, yeah.
And I turned it off because he's going to work and he like cuts himself on accident, but he doesn't bleed. And he's like, honey. He's like, and it's like this really cool dramatic shot of him in a hallway on the phone. He's like,
I think I'm unbreakable.
yeah. He's literally like, how many times have I ever called out sick from work? And it's like, you're telling me this is the first injury in your life. You're a 40-year-old man, and now you realize you're invincible. I was like, I turned it off. I was like, there's no suspension of disbelief I possess that will carry this.
Right.
It was crazy.
But
I want, honey, why have I never had a boo-boo in my life? I've never been sick.
Hey, honey, can you check around if there's a black man who breaks his fucking bones every time he touches anything?
Yeah, that's right. Samuel L. Jackson has a
Is that
scene
what
where
he
he's
does?
falling down the steps, right?
Yeah.
Does he fall down the steps?
Yeah.
He has the cane?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't remember breaking a goddamn bone.
Motherfucker, I've been broken my whole life. I am sick and tired of breaking these motherfucking bones on these motherfucking stairs.
Oh, that's funny.
Samuel L. Jackson in his Capital One commercial.
Yeah.
Is it Capital One? I feel like
yeah,
it is
yeah.
Capital
What's
One.
in your wallet?
No, he's like tired. He's just kind of like, what's in your
What's in your fucking wallet?
Yeah,
They
I'm
paid
getting
me
paid.
$700 million.
My wallet's got
A lot
crazy
of-
guap in
got
it.
Capital One guap in it.
Oh,
What's in
man.
your wallet? Let me have that.
Have you ever had a check
What's
from
your
Capital
shoe
One?
size?
Yeah, that sounds like my size.
Yeah. You a 13?
Huh?
Oh, man.
God damn. I don't know why I just that Bruce Willis shit. I'm just gonna keep bringing up Bruce Willis. No, but it's sad. It's like because I
It's
feel
sad.
like
It's sad as fuck.
like I want one more. Like I want one more. I don't know what
You
it
won't
is.
get it.
Narratively,
It's done.
I know narratively, like I could have used one more Bruce Willis movie.
He's legitimately a great actor. Like,
yeah.
he's in like Pulp Fiction for a reason. He's like really
Yeah.
like he's a heavy actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the strong silent type like Bruce Willis
Right.
and John Wayne? No,
Right.
but like I don't know. He could have kept giving us quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a shame. So
I'm wondering, out of the films that he did, like in this streak that I don't know about you said he just made
this
mad
is what I
films.
heard.
What you heard?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, if there's gonna be one out of all of those that's just like amazing or something.
Instant
Like it's some
classic.
artisanal. There could be like one artisanal, like The Wrestler or something, like
Right.
where
Yeah.
it's just like, and it's known as his last film, and it's like one of his greatest films. That's what I would hope would
he could
happen.
do like what Val
Yeah.
Kilmer did in Top Gun, which I love. This, I feel like Tom Cruise was like, Val, I'm gonna make sure you're in the next Top Gun, and you're gonna get that Top Gun check. Don't worry, Val, because he's in Top Gun with his like throat cancer, not talking. Like his character in Top Gun has, I don't know if you know, but Val Kilmer has like a throat cancer. He can't speak,
no.
so he can't act anymore, basically.
Yeah.
Damn.
But he's in Top Gun. And he's like writing shit down, and Tom Cruise is like reacting to the shit he types down. Like his character has the same disease he has.
Yeah. Ice
So I
Man.
wonder if Bruce Willis maybe does a movie like that where he's like sick in it or something.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought
man.
M. Night Shyamalan making a movie like that is hilarious. Is it good?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Unbreakable?
I watched
I
it
did
once, I
see
think.
it, but I don't.
It's
it
not
was nothing
memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in a comic book store.
It's
He's in a
frustrating.
comic book store.
Shit like that is frustrating, though. It's like extra frustrating when someone makes something so brilliant and they create this universe almost that you want to explore. And I'm saying not even the universe in the film, but you get the sense that this director is opening up a universe in like their art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the immediately like the next one is like a dud. Was his next movie Signs?
I don't know. It might have been
I don't
Unbreakable,
remember.
honestly.
Yeah, it's
no,
probably
after Sixth Sense. No,
Sixth Sense.
I think
Signs is a
Unbreakable-
legitimately
He also had
fantastic movie.
Unbreakable.
He also had-
that was later than that.
wasn't was it The Village or the
That was later, I believe.
yeah.
That was later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That
trying
was
to, I'm-
04,
I'm
The
trying to
Village.
think. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of like another good one.
I mean,
Avatar?
I don't think he made. I
don't know
literally
if he-
think,
yeah.
dude, he made. Oh wait, he was producer. He was producer
Is
on
it
After
Signs?
Earth.
Is Signs the only other one that you could maybe? I
So
haven't watched
it
Signs
was,
in
it
forever.
was Sixth Sense, then Unbreakable, and then it
Really?
was Signs.
Yeah.
He made Unbreakable a year after Sixth Sense,
Oh.
and then Signs, and then The Village, then Lady in the Water, then The Happening, then The Last Airbender, then After Earth, and then The Visit in 2015, Split in 2016, Glass in 2019, and then Old in 2021, which I've heard is extremely stupid, and I really want to watch it.
Old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
of
an
how dumb
island.
it
It's
is.
an island that makes people old.
I
Apparently,
went to the beach and I got old.
You know what? That's crazy. It almost sounds like real life.
getting old.
You said the plot is it's an island that makes people turn old,
Mm-hmm.
so it just speeds up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't understand. It's like faster.
Right.
It's faster.
Right. That's what I
It's like
missed.
eerily fast.
yeah.
Iñárritu is making a apparently has a movie
Oh yeah.
coming
what was
out
that about?
that's like 170 minutes long, and it stars him being a director. It's like a nod to 8.5, like Fellini,
yeah.
and it's apparently god awful. I can't wait. I cannot wait
Oh,
because he's
man.
got all
Do you
these
think-
like banger movies under his belt.
Yeah.
Do you
right.
think M. Night Shyamalan's? Wait, were you just talking about M. Night Shyamalan? Who are you talking about?
Iñárritu.
Iñárritu, the guy who did Revenant. And,
I saw the headlines about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
yeah. No, thing about M. Night Shyamalan though, I was like, do you think his process for getting films made is like he gives the pitch to like potential funders, and they're all just like, and then he goes, "I made The Sixth Sense," and then
Yeah.
they go,
Oh, here you go. Yeah.
or
M.
maybe
Night
they'll be like,
Shyamalan,
well, that-
M. Night Shyamalan, and then they go, all right.
yeah. I think it's like there's people who remember I made The Sixth Sense
Yeah.
that are dumb enough to go see this next one.
It's
I've got about 20 more at bats.
I made Signs.
Yeah.
I made Signs. That one sold.
Yeah. Sign sold. This could be the next Signs.
I don't know. Look at the numbers. I don't know. I feel like that's his last
Yeah.
resort. It's
He's
like,
like-
just look at the numbers. I don't know.
okay. Picture this: there are people that saw Sixth Sense and then they saw no more movies of mine. How's that?
No disrespect to M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm not joking because I want him to make another good film.
I feel like that's what people are riding on. It's like he's got to have.
Everyone I've seen talk about M. Night Shyamalan, it's like I am holding
Signs
out
is
for
my
him to
favorite,
make.
Still my favorite alien. Not like it's my favorite extraterrestrial on Earth movie. Not like alien. Like
I was gonna say that's woo. Ridley Scott. I don't know.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Hitting
an alien with a bat.
The scene with the birthday party.
He's like, andale. Dude, when people use that in memes, like his reaction.
You ever seen Scary Movie 4?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh,
Scary Movie 3 is the one that makes
3 is the one. Yeah,
I'm saying 3.
It's the one with Michael Jackson in it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
we
is 3 the one that
brought this up on the
references
first
science?
episode, I think. Michael Jackson's like a horrifying monster in the beginning of that movie.
Yeah. He's
Fucking
like, he's
scared
like
the shit out of me.
under the blanket and doing the like grudge shit.
Charlie Sheen's in it.
Oh my God. Do you remember when he said he was cured of HIV/AIDS?
Yeah.
Charlie
And then he went
got
on
tiger
TV.
blood.
And then he went on TV and then said, "Yeah, actually, it turned out that wasn't true."
That was a fluke.
Yeah, he literally does this. He literally goes back on TV.
That was a fluke.
Yeah.
Sheen.
I got tiger blood in my veins.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Man.
that was like a full blown thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
line? What was his line?
Winning.
Like Warlock.
Winning. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like when I was in high school.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh my God.
I remember going back to my dad's house on like breaks from school, and my brother would just be there watching 2.5 Men because we didn't have cable. Just 2.5 Men all day. Just watching Angus. What's his name?
Yeah.
Angus Black.
Kid's like a hardcore Christian now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like denouncing the show. I think it was like
That gay guy who's not gay, whatever the fuck.
John Cryer?
Yeah, he held it down.
Why do I know these people's names, man?
I mean, one of the biggest shows on television ever.
Yeah, it just feels, I don't know the names of people and stuff I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like.
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called Sanctuary Computer to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we build ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
Doesn't mean they gotta take us with them.
All I remember from my I guess no. I think I watched a good amount of TV shows where it wouldn't be a small list. But I remember watching I fucking watched My Wife and Kids.
Yep.
I loved My Wife and Kids. I fucking watched the Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Hightower.
I took a screenwriting class for one of the writers of the Steve Harvey Show. Yeah.
Wait, you took a what?
Yeah. I took a
You should have unveiled this with Zach on. This is a sin that
one
you
of the
did.
writers of the Steve Harvey Show was my screenwriting teacher, and he liked my spec actually.
Oh,
he thought
wow.
it was good. He remembered me later. I ran into him. He was like, "Hey, you did a good Always Sunny." I was like, "Thanks, man." That class made me be like, TV writing is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wrote for the Steve Harvey
Mr.
Show.
Hightower.
Wow.
Yeah. Hightower.
Mr. Hightower.
was
Yeah,
his name.
yeah.
That was Steve
And
Harvey's name.
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
I watched Girlfriends.
Trish and I have seen
Girlfriends.
almost
Loved
every season of
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends. That's like our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
Get a
Legend.
goofy
Uh,
all of them in that show are
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I watched
the fucking right-wing guy friend they have in that show is hilarious. He voted for Bush canonically in the show. Do you know they have one?
That's the guy
wait, you
friend.
talking about- Yeah, the guy friend
I
who's,
don't remember
8
him
feet
being
tall.
right wing.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
he's
remember-
like a businessman who's right-wing.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah.
said he voted for Bush in the show and shit. It's so funny.
What else did I watched the big ones though too, like Family Matters and Boy Meets World.
Yes, Boy Meets World. When it's Boy Meets World.
Why did y'all lock in on that at the same time?
That shit was heavy.
I watched it too. I just wasn't there for that moment. I was
because that's like that's
heavy. Yeah. No, like the writing.
Boy Meets World.
Anything called life is what we're doing.
Mr. Matthew.
Sorry, what was his name again?
Mr.
Feeney. Mr. Feeney. That's so crazy. I still can't believe Disney fucking brought the show back.
Yeah.
Like, for Disney
my God,
Channel.
dog. I watched one episode. They have an episode called Communism where fucking.
Oh yes, that clip, that scene. Have you seen that?
Where
oh my God.
So what's his
I
name?
almost think it's
Corey?
too much to pull up.
Or he's like, Mr. Matthews, the USSR was a failure. Like
Well, no. He's
No,
the
he's
teacher in the new
teaching.
show. He's teaching his kids
Corey-
and her friends.
Corey is the
Corey's
teacher.
teaching his kids and her friends.
Okay, I see what you're saying. This
And
isn't like
he's-
an old school clip.
Yeah, and
I don't even want to open this can of worms.
I mean, bro.
But what did he say?
Well, he's like, well, the reason they call it communism is it can better be known as communism because look at you guys. You're all the same.
Oh, I remember
Everybody-
this. I've
yeah.
seen that clip.
It's like everybody
That's
had to
some
be
all
deep
gray.
state
everybody
shit.
gay. Yeah, it's like
Some deep.
everybody was gay and everybody was,
yeah.
Bob Iger, whoever's the head of Disney, like went into the writer's room and was like, "There's one thing that's been on my mind lately,
Yeah.
and I only have one thing I gotta say. We need some anti-communist propaganda
Yeah.
on the show."
There was a bunch of guys in suits talking in a hushed tone in the corner when the
Yeah.
writers came in that day, and they're like, oh, anyways, Bob, we'll talk.
yeah. He's like, yeah. So we love the show. We love everything about it. We just thought maybe we could do something a little bit more about the specter of communism.
Yeah. The haunting specter of socialism in our country.
Yeah, God.
The creeping.
That's
haunting-
crazy.
Yeah. It was one of the most insane things I've ever watched on television.
Yeah.
It was like, and I've seen like Fairly Odd Parents, I think, did an anti-communist thing
Like,
at one point.
Feeney
And it
would
was
have
like-
been the more radical. Like Mr. Matthews, there's a man named Murray Bookchin. Well, he thought
Yeah.
we should.
Perhaps another term we could use is communalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Direct democracy.
Are
Not,
you-
not authoritarian bullshit.
Are
Like
you
the
familiar with a
USSR.
man named Nestor Makhno?
Mr.
Makhnovia.
Matthews.
Smart guy though too. I
Oh,
love
smart
smart guy.
You know, one time I tweeted that that
Topanga.
young
Trying to work in a Topanga, some sort of
Yeah.
patriarchy thing.
one time I tweeted that that young Sheldon is just white smart guy, and Taj Mowry retweeted it.
I don't know what's smart guy. I'm not.
He's a smart guy.
You know, Sister? Did you watch Sister
No,
Sister?
fire.
Smart guy. It's a little
Yeah.
kid. What
Did
is?
you-
do you remember the lyrics? The lyrics to the intro explain the
don't
show.
know.
So smart.
Well, okay, so like picture a kid who's
Little
like,
whiz kid, bust a high school. Until next little study buddy, he knows the drill.
Why is that so many
He's just a
sitcoms?
kid on the ball, very clever.
It's like that.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's a little
yeah.
ass kid that
Right.
skipped mad grades and is in high school with his older brother
Yeah.
and their friends.
Did you watch
Navigating.
Sister?
Yes. Sister,
Their brother
sister.
Taj Mowry is the
Yes.
star of Smart Guy.
Okay.
Yeah, with what's the kid's name who's in everything?
his older
who's-
brother?
Yeah, Marcus.
He died, I think, right?
Did he really?
He got killed by his girlfriend or some shit
What?
like that.
What?
Who?
I might be confusing him for someone else, but I'm
Don't
sure,
kill
pretty sure
someone.
he's dead.
Are you thinking of Jet Jackson?
No, he killed himself.
No,
That shit is
no.
fucked
See, he
up.
killed himself.
He's a smart guy.
What is this?
Oh, crispy chicken. Please snack on. I love how that's the last thing.
That's the last thing. Oh God, hold
Oh,
on.
my
Let me,
God.
let me pull this off.
He's a smart guy.
I'm gonna find out if I'm right.
It's like Doogie Howser. Like, there's so many shows about like, well,
What if a kid?
look where his brains got him.
What if a kid was
Yeah.
intelligent?
What if a child was intelligent?
Can you imagine if a kid was smart? And he's
The
so
whole
smart,
country
you don't
would be
even
flipped
call
up
him a
over.
kid. He's so smart, you don't even call him a kid. You call him a guy.
You call him. Is that the name of your smart guy?
Yeah.
You call him a guy. He's legally of age to have sex now.
He's so fucking smart.
Yeah.
He's so.
What if the age of consent was based on IQ? Just hold on with me for a second.
Picture Goodwill Hunting, but even less believable.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily write him this way. Maybe it's just in casting. He's black.
Maybe I'm throwing that out.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go with me on this.
Yeah.
Maybe he's black.
All right, now I feel really bad because he's not dead.
I knew you were killing somebody.
There is someone though. There is someone, but it's not going to come to me here. There's someone that was on a show in the 90s who's killed by their girlfriend, but I'm not going to remember who it is.
Sounds like
you know who it is deep in your mind.
Wait, are you talking about Phil from just Phil? That's all I got.
Of the future?
No, Phil Hartman.
Philip?
No.
Because he was killed by his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Was that just the
Let's
velometer?
turn it back on, yeah.
Gotcha.
I forgot it.
Really
spooked. Have you seen? Speaking of Phil Hartman, have you seen his SNL audition?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Bro, it's one of the most crazy.
He does a Jack Nicholson impression in German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I could speak German. But
Yeah, I feel like he memorized some German just to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is one of the
This
crazy.
is gonna
Threshold's a little different nowadays.
This is gonna bug the fuck out of me. I gotta find out who I'm thinking about now.
Someone
watching this knows exactly who I'm talking about. That's the most annoying.
I want to just like rattle off
actors
shows.
who got killed by their girlfriend, I guess.
I'm gonna just rattle off shows. Cousin Skeeter.
Yeah, maybe
Wayans Bros.
If you name
Martin. Somebody from Martin. What was the age range with the target audience for the show he was on?
He was younger, so he's probably in his 20s when he was on the show. Let me look up.
This reminds me, I auditioned for a show with Megan Good one time, and then when I
trying to put a face to that name. Oh, okay, yeah. Megan Good.
I auditioned.
Cousin Skeeter.
It was from Cousin Skeeter?
No, I'm saying she was on Cousin Skeeter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna find it though. Don't.
Oh yeah, she's in Friday also.
Right. I think it is. I think it is Steve Harvey's show. Hold on one second. The dude who played Romeo.
Steve Harvey.
Oh,
they replaced him with a clone.
Oh, I think I got it. Hold on.
I auditioned for the show, and then as the love interest, and then the next day they sent me a new audition for
Merlin
Gay Brothers. I'm like,
Romeo from Steve Harvey's show.
Wow,
really?
Merlin. His name was Merlin Santana.
Damn,
that's a wild name.
That's a dope ass name.
That's a fire name.
Yeah, it's Carlos Santana and a magical wizard combined.
Yeah.
And on November 9th, 2002, Santana was murdered while sitting in a car in L.A.
Damn.
Moment of silence for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was his girlfriend. I think it was someone
just a stranger
shot him. Yeah. I'm on the Wikipedia.
Jesus.
Not to make this so dark, but he was on Sister Sister. He was on the Cosby Show. He was on Moesha.
It's fucked up how good the Cosby Show. Like I remember watching that as a kid and just being like, "This is the most adorable, funny show I've ever seen."
Yeah. Rudy.
Yeah, because you would have like little kids on the show that were so like they're like good kid actors that were really cute and funny.
Yeah,
and it was all wholesome and shit.
Man, after watching that documentary, just like seeing the little breadcrumbs he put on the show of just like what he was doing. all the time, I was just like, man, I can't.
The barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Incident.
You notice how people have my sauce and they get all huggy buggy?
What's crazy is that when that episode was recorded, that was probably like his campaign of fucking assault had a 20-year tenure already.
Oh yeah,
like he was doing that in the 60s.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy.
I mean, that was
he didn't even hit his biggest stride until the 80s, probably.
Right. I mean, that was after the fucking Spanish Fly bit, all this stuff, like Playboy Mansion shows, all of that. Oh, that shit was going on. Like
Hugh Hefner was a fuck too.
Yeah.
There's a whole documentary about Hugh Hefner.
Yeah,
such a weirdo.
I just saw the craziest one under my brother's recommendation. The British TV show
Jimmy,
host.
dude, I couldn't even. I didn't even finish.
What is?
I watched the whole thing.
What is
It's literally he's
Jimmy
he won.
Savile.
He won.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the only way
He
I
got
can
off
put it.
scot free. Yeah.
No. But I'm saying he won in terms of like
The worst.
fucking over the
Heinousness?
most, doing the most disgusting shit to the most amount of people for the longest amount of time, and then yes, he got away with it in the end.
He died. They didn't know about this, or it wasn't public until far after he died.
oh yeah.
He was like a Mr. Rogers meets Funk Flex, basically.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Literally, like he was a huge
Explanation.
radio personality, and then he was
Yeah.
like this wholesome guy who would raise money for like sick kids, and he had like this show where he would like, it's like Jimmy Does It or some shit, where he
It's
like he
play-
would
kids put in requests for like
Yeah.
it's like Make a Wish or a letter to Santa,
So
and then he would actually
and
So
we
he's
don't
like
have the context for it, but like in Britain, it's like it's even bigger than Mr. Rogers. Like
Yeah,
everyone
right,
loved
right,
this
right,
guy.
right.
It
Yes.
was like you can't
See,
even fathom it.
that comparison you gave, I'm just like, picturing him like restarting Beach Boys songs 50 times.
Oh shit!
we could be happy, we could be happy, we could be happy.
Oh god, yeah, dude.
And he was a sick fuck.
Yeah.
well, and they in the first they do it really well in that doc where they like unravel what really was behind him so well, because it starts with just
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've seen this, man. How do people like? How
he
do
smoked
you?
cigars all fucking day. Look how nasty his
I mean,
fucking
like,
teeth are.
not to
Orc
perpetuate.
teeth. He is
Orc
Lord of the
teeth.
Rings.
Yeah.
Orc teeth.
Right.
That's right. What do you want us to do next, boss?
Right. I'm just
What
like,
about them? They don't need their legs.
like I don't want to perpetuate the narrative that only like
perpetuate
people that look like that are the ones that do shit like that. But like, I immediately want to ask questions when I see that face.
He's on some
the eyes.
He's on some
it's not even the
Slugworth-
teeth. It's
some
the
Slugworth
eyes.
shit, dude.
It's the
Yeah.
eyes.
He's on some Slugworth shit.
Yeah.
Give me the impossible gobstopper.
Yeah. Oh
What
my.
the fuck this shit's called? Slugworth always gave me pedo vibes from.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like those teeth look like they got stopped by some gobs.
Yeah, they got gobstopped hard.
I just
Them
love
gobs
I
got
just love the idea. I just love the idea
They
that
got fully stopped.
anytime anyone English comes up, you're just pulling from every Western stereotype of
Yeah.
an English person
Fuck
in
them,
pop
that's
culture. Yeah, I'm
Fuck the
like
British, bro.
imagining every time you do that, like, oh, British, Harry Potter, and then there's an English person that's just like, oh my.
Like, no,
No,
we're
no,
not.
no, you say that, and then an English person goes, "Oh my days, bruv. Oh my days, bruv."
Jimmy Savile, that's not proven, bro. Those 49,000 kids alone, bro.
You're like
Yeah.
English person, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. What was it? That's not proof. That's not proof. But it's a very good
That's
piece of
what you
evidence.
get.
Willis person, Willy Wonka.
For being an
Willy
omnipotent
Wonka.
colonizing hegemony for centuries, you get reduced to a stupid, fucking dumb. Oh, fucking hell, mate.
Oh,
Like,
You're a pirate. You're all pirates.
you're Jack Sparrow.
Right.
Oh, but that's a Birmingham accent. That's not from Brixton. That's not from Cheddarshire. I'm from. No one fucking knows what places are. dude.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, go eat your cheese and crackers. Wallace was from
Wensleydale.
Binghamton.
It's not
Yeah.
like any cheese I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
It's just so funny because you do it so consistently.
Because every time I,
it is so bad.
yeah, it's like,
Someone on TikTok's just gonna be like,
like, bros, that guy's Welsh.
fucked,
You did
right.
fucking London
fucked,
town.
mate.
It's like, yeah, fuck
Can't
off.
fuck.
"Fuck off."
Fuck off.
Do this
off.
shit.
But yo,
Piss off.
just for our
Piss
friends, just so our friends across the pond know, everyone in New
First of all, it's
least
a fucking ocean. Stop.
It's open pond.
just so folks know, in New York City, everyone does fucking English accents now. Like specifically East London. It's just like it's like a habit of everyone, any millennial and younger
Right.
walking the streets in New York City has that shit in the pocket now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we grew up with Harry Potter, which I feel
Yeah.
like gives you a good.
Did I ever?
I think people are proud too. Like English people are proud of that like cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
I get the sense
The
of
accent
that.
or Harry Potter itself? Or
Well, like Harry Potter as a representation of certain parts of like English.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling's reactionary bullshit aside. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Right.
I like the.
I know it's not monolithic.
There's a charm.
gonna
There's
be
a
people
charm to sort of the quiet English sort of teen leisure and shit like the
Cheese and crackers.
yeah, like oh, it's
Chicken
very,
Run.
Yeah.
like
Bro,
bro.
did I
That's
tell you when I was in Nigeria
I
as a
don't
kid?
want to be a pie.
When I was a kid, I went to a video store in Nigeria, and they had a little VHS that was labeled Chicken Run 3. And
Really?
at 11 years old, I was like, "Oh shit, Chicken Run 3, dog!" And then
Chicken Run 3, welcome to Nigeria.
we rented the shit. We rented the shit, put it in the tape. It was not Chicken Run 3,
No.
and at the time, I remember like hitting play on it, and I was like, Chicken Run 2 isn't even out yet. Chicken Run. Fuck. I got, man.
yeah. It's fuck.
So specific.
I specifically remember, like baked into my brain, I have promos and commercials for films memorized. Like if you watch, I'm sure if you scour YouTube, the internet, you will find the promo / commercial for when Chicken Run was about to come out, and you'll hear that line, "I don't want to be a pie."
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like I'll find these like nostalgia VHS tape bumper YouTube channels, and I'll hit play on some of these things, and it just streams line for line, bar for bar, streams right back to me.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
fucking crazy.
Remember
the
seeing
brain.
the same ad for a movie, or it would be something like that, like a little tag, and you just hear it so much, and then you'd see the movie, and they would still have that line in the movie, and you're just like, wow,
Yeah.
that's the line. It's like
That-
They also
funny.
used to put shit. They probably still do it. They would cut commercials with shit that's not in the movie, like
yeah.
other
Yeah.
takes or exclusive stuff that's not going to be in the film.
Yeah.
And I would always think that I was like misremembering or hallucinating or something.
Yeah. No, that my brain. I feel like my brain gets triggered that way with like Toonami bumpers, like when they do the little like interstitials between the show, like all the Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon promos, any of that, or like Giant Robot Week.
Yeah.
We
One
got Big O,
The craziest
Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz, just all that shit.
The craziest one, and I highly recommend people try this out. This is like one of the coolest things you can do on the internet, in my opinion. There's this subreddit called it's Tip of My Tongue. I think it's like, but they r/tip of my tongue. And you can basically go there and describe like a faint memory of like some piece of media or something that happened, giving as much context as you can. And someone will eventually come in and fucking help you remember.
Yeah.
And I had this faint memory of this program that ran on Fox Family or whatever the fuck it was. That channel changed so many times. It's what is now Freeform.
Oh yeah.
It was, but this is like 2 or 3 iterations back, and it would come on after like Hello Kitty or something. And I wrote this Reddit post. I was like, I just remember there was a tent and a white glove and like rolling green hills, and people started like guessing a bunch of. I was like, the clouds were like shaped like animals, and people started guessing stuff, and no one was getting it. And someone was like, I have the program list for the years 1997 to 2003, and I feel like if you search here, you should be able to find it. And I literally scrolled through, and I found it. It was a show, Itsy Bitsy Time, and it was like this short thing that would play. And I find like a VH. There's only like 1 or 2 videos of it on YouTube, like VHS recordings, and the music plays, and all of it came back to me like on the spot.
Wow.
It's Itsy Bitsy Time. I'm not gonna actually sing it.
I think I remember that.
But try that shit. Like literally, if there's some shit, I remember dinosaurs. Like the Jim Henson show used to be that for me when I thought I had a fever dream about that show as a kid, and then years later when I got a computer, like I Googled and I was like, oh, that was an actual fucking show.
I was laughing to myself, thinking like, what if you go in there and you just completely misunderstand how it works? You're just like, I'm trying to remember this movie. It's about like an emperor who gets his new groove. It's like it's called.
Come on, man, that's not obscure.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I have so many faint memories of like, I used to love watching VHS because there'd be like 20 minutes of previews at the front of the tape.
Yeah,
and that kind of used to be kind of cool because it was like.
Yeah, where you like had to watch it.
Yeah, and like I just remember seeing a couple. There's one movie in particular.
Our feature presentation.
Right. And now our
there's one movie I remember that was very like, it was like a bunch. It was kind of, it almost like took place in the 60s, and I thought it's not The Good Shepherd, that movie with Matt Damon, but like that was the art design vibe of it, was that type of stuff, and it was like about a guy getting spied on. It was, I don't know, maybe someone in the jaded audience will remember it, but
I think just VHS has that, like, it all has that same kind of a vibe to it, you know. It just doesn't matter how it's shot, it doesn't matter what it is, it just all feels the same to me.
Yeah,
you know, it's just a presentation.
What is that, like Touchstone or something?
No, that's Disney.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just remember having nap time like that, like back when I was babysat, and like my nap time would be just put on like James and the Giant Peach, Nightmare Before Christmas, or Toy Story.
Yeah,
Toy Story. I had the whole thing memorized from. There was a point in my life I had the whole thing memorized from the previews and all of that stuff through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sid, your Pop-Tarts are ready. All right. Like I had the whole thing like it's a song. I had the whole thing.
Yeah.
I haven't tried like going through now, but I'm sure it would all just start. It's literally like listening to like a symphonic suite or something.
Yeah.
Like your favorite. There's a rhythm to it, a pacing, like a pace to it.
Yeah. Right.
Randy Newman fucking bodied that score and soundtrack.
Yeah. And as years go by,
but the score
will never die.
And I will go sailing no more.
That's like during the sad part of the movie.
No, it can't be true. I could fly if I wanted to, like a bird in the sky. I believe I can fly. Well, I'll fly.
Oh, that's your stem.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing about Randy Newman is? He claims when he talks about these films, this is if you're a Randy Newman head, this is not even like some obscure knowledge. Everybody knows this. But his whole thing is like, he'll talk about how he didn't give a fuck making all of those films, like in the songwriting. And when you think about it, with some soundtracks, you're like, oh no, that's definitely true. Like with the Bug's Life, where he's like, was a bug, little bug, hardly there. It's like, yeah, you weren't trying.
And like, here's $2 million.
Yeah.
Just like all the sheets of lyrics he didn't put in the song.
Yeah.
Was a bug, her little legs. Yeah, 6 legs.
But
tiny pincers.
But there's clearly like other soundtracks like where that's you'd clearly put some
the
real
Phil Collins
shit.
Tarzan is like the exact opposite of that.
Oh my
where it's
God.
like one of his best works.
Right.
Well, it's like it's about like how they claim to relate to it. That's really the only difference we're talking about here, because all of Randy Newman's shit is amazing. Like even the Bug's Life shit is amazing. Like musically, it's fucking amazing. But
Phil Collins related the fuck out of Tarzan, dog. Just like, put your faith in what you most believe in. 2 worlds, one family.
Like the music
Trust your heart. Let fate decide to guide these lives we see.
But it's funny that you would make
a paradise untouched by men.
Like that has more interesting themes than the movie.
Right.
But it's funny. I think Randy Newman, like the fact that you would make amazing music and kind of be like, oh no, I don't really care. It was just a job, you know?
Yeah,
and then there's one interview where someone is like calling his bluff on that. I can't remember who it was. but they literally start bringing up lyrics, and they're like, well, I don't know if that's true. On the James and the Giant Peach soundtrack, you said, and then they like go through the lyrics, and he's like, oh well, I guess, you know, some things, you know.
I gotta watch a Randy Newman.
I guess I kind of had a good time writing.
He's just so chill. He's like,
had a good time writing all these songs.
Yeah,
I want to make music for you.
Yeah.
Wasn't trying that hard.
That Will
Mad
TV. Yeah.
I write about a bug giving a hug, and a bug is song for you.
Yeah,
boom, boom.
For those that don't know, Will Sasso has, I think, it's one of the funniest bits of all time. I'm not a fan of Mad TV like that, but like, I think that's a lot of nostalgia shit. If you actually go back, it's just a lot of cringe in there.
Yeah,
but there's a Will Sasso Randy Newman sketch that is just so funny. It's like if the bit is George Lucas hired Randy Newman to do the Star Wars music,
right?
And he's just like, space is the place for Star Wars. Jedi Knights are how to fight. It's just like, it's the same thing I said about Bug's Life, but he's just doing it for Star Wars. Like he's just doing the bare minimum lyrics wise.
Fighting the war in the depths of space.
Yeah.
Come back to
what does it go? I'm a bug.
Was a bug, little bug, hardly there. So good though. I love it. Yeah. It's a time of your life. Do you remember that song? It's a time of your life, so live it well.
No.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love just anything he does, honestly.
Yeah.
I just recorded myself shitting on the toilet, and he loved it. He loved the way it sounded.
What is that song? Sure, people got
no reason to live.
It's so funny.
Don't.
No,
I think we're gonna have Tim Heidecker on at some point. That's when we should have the full blown like Randy Newman conversation.
I gotta brush up on my Newman. I've been going hard on Phil Collins.
Randy Newman is like his biggest inspiration.
Really?
Because his music wasn't just amazing. I mean, Randy Newman comes out of a family full of like orchestral arrangers and composers and shit.
Wow.
So he's been doing it since it's like a family business type thing.
Yeah.
So he's not just like brilliant on that tip. His music was satirical. So much of his music was just satire and like commentary, like comedic commentary on so many different social, political issues. And so like, and Tim is like a comedy music person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, Randy Newman is like the god. I know people talk about like Weird Al, but Weird Al is just like, no disrespect to Weird Al because he's a legend in his own right.
Yeah.
But like, he's kind of like that's like the easy laugh.
Yeah.
Whereas Randy Newman's like, he's like the Tim Heidecker comedy wise, like in the music, in the music context.
Dude,
that's why he can have a hit song called Short People.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really just a song about discrimination. It's about people who are discriminatory.
Right.
But like, it just goes over so many people's heads. It's like controversial.
Yeah.
And he has a song called Rednecks that's like crazy. And again, this is like anyone who's into Randy Newman, Rednecks is like, that's one of the, I don't even know if I have we have the time or bandwidth for that. Is literally a conversation in and of itself.
Wow.
But,
Have you seen the trailer for the Weird Al movie that's coming out? Speaking of which.
yeah, I did with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
It just, I love
It looks
Daniel
kind of
Radcliffe.
funny to me, man.
I'll watch it.
It looks funny.
It
I don't
takes
know.
itself seriously. That's what made
No,
me
it's-
Do you
just,
think so?
I think
it's all made
I
up.
thought it was pretty.
It's all made up.
it looks like a real,
Dog,
it looks like a real like
I don't-
biopic.
I don't
Watch it
think
again
any of
because I
that
think
shit is
I think it's
real,
a
dog.
parody. Like
Really?
some
I
Dewey
watched.
Cock,
Dog, the
or what's
trailer
that?
is so silly.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I forget what his.
Is it, or is it just like a played up Hollywood version?
No, I
of
think
his
it's
life?
making fun of that.
I think it's like
I don't think so.
the vibe I got
We'll
was
see.
like they were trying to be spiritual successor to Walk Hard.
Yeah.
That's the
No.
energy I got.
I didn't get that at all.
I mean, they might miss the mark, but
I
that's
just
the
watched
energy
Walk
I got.
Hard. Walk Hard makes that clear because it's one, not based off of an actual specific person, and then like it's all fictional, but then it's also extremely goofy and ridiculous.
It's also
things that are
broad
happening.
what it makes fun of.
There's nothing that I
right.
saw in that trailer that was like that.
I
There
think
was he played his accordion and it was covering someone else. It was clearly his voice and Daniel Radcliffe lip syncing, and then they all go, "Holy shit, man, that was amazing."
No, I think
feel
that's
like
the
it's
joke.
I think that's the joke.
I think they're aware of it.
They have a line where he's like, this is not my place in life. My dream is to write new lyrics to other people's songs.
Yeah.
And his friends are like, yeah, that's what
I
you wanna
feel
do,
like
go
that
for it."
actually happened. I feel like if
Like,
we
he
read
actually
his
said it like
weird,
that?
I bet you if we picked up a Weird Al autobiography, that line is in there verbatim.
I feel like it's
I don't
a Weird
know.
Al.
I don't know
man.
shit.
I feel like Weird Al's
But this
never
is
done
what I would
anything
bet.
serious in his whole life. I
Yeah.
feel like there's no way.
Have you?
But
heard-
his fans, he has serious fans.
I hate-
though.
yeah,
I don't hate Weird Al, but I hate Weird Al being asserted on me.
Yeah,
That's what I hate.
have you heard?
Like when people start talking about it, play his music. I
Yeah.
remember I was in a car one time.
Don't put Weird Al on me.
I was getting carpilled.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Put the
If there's
Weird Al
one
back in
thing-
your pants.
You're not gonna do. It's that.
Yeah. I was getting carpooled home from school. I think it was on Halloween, and I think I was going back to Tony's house.
This is already funny.
And the mom driving the car was only playing Weird Al the whole time. Like the whole time. It was like a 20-minute drive.
You're in
of
that
just Weird
nasal
Al. Yeah.
voice
And
for
I was
20
like,
minutes.
and I remember in
Yeah.
like 8th grade being like, I remember the exact conversation because it was like, it was so bizarre that an adult reacted this way. I was like, "Do you have any real music you could play?" That's what I said. And
that stung so bad.
and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Ooh,
This is
that
real music."
hurts so.
And I was like, "I don't know, like some Pink Floyd." I remember I said Pink Floyd.
Oh my god!
Oh, that hurts so bad.
And she was like, "This is real music." Like, and I remember like, she got real life. An adult got real life upset.
That
with me
hurts
for
so
saying that.
bad,
Be
dude.
real.
You would
Like,
be upset if
yeah.
that. I would be hurt.
I
if
can't
a
even
kid
imagine
said,
because I
if
would
a
never
kid
feel that way. I would never
If a
play.
kid said that to me about some shit that I really enjoyed, and then but there was like some, you know what I mean, and
Well, you're
Yeah, it was
listening
just
to
like-
fucking parody music.
You know what's funny? When I was in middle school, my music teacher
covers too.
who
Yeah.
could not sing, every time Weird Al put out a new song, that would get played in class. Every single time he got a new. I remember,
Bro, the
I
kids
remember
that
when-
memorized White and Nerdy but did
Oh,
not
yeah.
listen to rap.
Yeah.
that was when I was off the train. I was a Weird Al fan for a while.
I used
yeah.
to think. Do you remember Windows having like a music video search feature? There was like a
Yeah.
Windows Media,
Yeah,
like searchable Windows.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm
think
talking
so,
about?
yeah.
You have like a vague memory of that?
yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch his Michael Jackson, just like
Fat?
yeah, and like other stuff, and I thought that was kind of funny,
Yeah,
but like that was kind of it,
yeah.
you know.
I remember that, and he did.
Did he ever do blackface? I feel like he was smart enough.
He did
not to.
cornrows with Chameleonaire or whatever
Yeah.
for the
Did he?
Because I just feel like
I remember the
that's-
reason
that-
why I didn't like him.
yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I feel like that's something he so easily could have like.
Done.
I
Yeah.
won't put that
Done.
past
well, because
him.
he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
like he did Bad, he did Gangsta's Paradise, he did like
Yeah.
all
also
about the
did-
Benjamins.
yeah.
yeah, all about the.
That's his
Pentiums.
whole thing, really. It's
Yeah.
like,
what was his Gangsta's Paradise cover again?
Amish Paradise?
Amish Paradise. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just the same song.
Yeah.
You've taken something that like someone might get one hit their whole life, and it's just because they ingeniously made this
Yeah.
specific song that was a hit,
yeah.
and you just get to scoop up every hit
right.
and replace some words, and you're worth how much? I don't know.
Yeah, you know when it comes to parody music, I feel like the
I've never
pinnacle-
really liked Weird Al. I don't know if that's coming across.
No,
Can you
no.
imagine looking up Weird Al's what's the word? His
Net
net
worth?
worth, and it's like
Yeah.
100 mil.
You know I'm fat. I'm fat.
He's like-
and worth 100 million.
He's like, well, what about instead of capitalism, it's like a parody of capitalism.
Yeah. What about
We
capitalism?
changed the dollar sign to something different, but I'm still rich.
It's like, what about
under it?
What if it was capitalism, but it was kind of silly?
right, right.
Have you heard
With an accordion.
Paul F. Tompkins has a story about meeting Weird Al where they both were at the same podcast studio. And he's like,
well, he was on Comedy Bang Bang all the time, wasn't he? Both of them.
oh, well,
Or the show.
Well,
but, yeah.
in this story, they're like recording in separate rooms next door to each other.
Oh, okay.
And Weird Al is getting a little bit loud, and he's trying to tell him to quiet down, but he's like, we're buddies, let's just like make it a joke.
Who was getting loud?
Weird Al was.
Oh, okay.
And this is Paul F. Tompkins telling the story, and he's like, just like, this is my friend, let me just like tell him to quiet down, but as a bit. And he goes, knocks on the door, he's like, hey, Weird. He's calling him Weird. He's like, hey, Weird, could you keep it down, please? Weird, could you keep it down? And this happens a couple times, and he escalates to the point where he comes in and he's like, Weird. Weird, could you keep it down?
Is that what he goes by?
No,
Weird?
absolutely not.
No way.
And then after they finish recording, they go through this whole fiasco, and he's like, I just realized I've never met Weird Al in my life. This is my first time, and I've just been calling him Weird for an hour and a half.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I would call him Al. Probably.
Yeah.
Not Weird.
Alfred.
Weird.
What is
Strange
his full
Albert.
name? Strange.
Bizarre Albert.
Bizarre.
Coming soon. Yeah, I just yeah, man.
I don't hate Weird Al. I was gonna really say weird. I don't hate Weird.
I don't hate him, but it's just like the amount of kids that I grew up with.
There's people who he was a huge part of their life.
Yeah, no, he's like.
I don't understand it personally, but yeah.
I like
no
almost every other musical comedian that exists more than him. Probably.
Yeah. When it comes to parodies, I'm a big Richard Cheese guy. Richard Cheese.
I don't know.
Is that
he's
is that the guy that shake and come, nigga?
Yeah.
It's that guy.
Yeah.
That's my neck, my back. He sings like.
Yeah. He does
like a white, stereotypical white Broadway
lounge
jazz covers of like
songs
you would have never thought I could sing in this voice. That's like the whole thing.
He's like,
so much drama in the LBC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like the only person who I love that's in the same kind of realm is Pee Wee Herman. And that's just because Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman is 40 million times more creative than Weird Al.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that.
Yeah, that's very mean, but yeah. That's very harsh. But yes.
I mean, you're talking about
they're also friends, but
You're talking about a brilliant
Paul Rubens is
that show is amazing.
Yeah.
And that movie's incredible.
Yeah. That's Danny Elfman, Tim Burton.
Yeah, man.
And that's like a part of my childhood as well. That's like one of the first films I remember watching.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like one of those movies you grow up as a kid and like a kid shows you, is like, oh, have you ever seen the Pee Wee Herman movie? You gotta go over and watch it. And you watch. It's like that, Sandlot, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like these movies that you're like, oh, do you know about this fire movie?
Yeah.
People wonder, I'll be specific. Some of my black friends wonder, as a black person, how I end up being a like Tim Burton, Danny Elfman fan. And it's literally like the first few years of my life. It was like Nightmare Before Christmas and fucking the Pee Wee Herman. My dad just so happened to be a big Pee Wee Herman fan for reasons I still don't understand to this day. He literally has a Pee Wee Herman pool, like string doll that he saved like since the 80s in the house. I still to this day don't understand why. I looked it up. It's not, unfortunately. I think he thought it would be, and it looks like it would be.
I feel like didn't you have that in your office?
No.
Or something similar?
No, but I do. I would like that.
I think you're thinking of that Chucky doll.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Y'all just exposing me. That was a gift.
Yeah, Z's got 3 life-size xenomorphs.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be hard.
Yeah.
What were we joking about? That the fucking to get your PS4 fixed, don't go to GameStop. You got to go somewhere where there's a pissed off Game Boy outside the store, and there's like a life-size xenomorph.
Right.
There's a
an
fucking
anthropomorphized
figure
Game
of
Boy.
Spock.
An anthropomorphized Game Boy is the
Just like an
logo
arm.
for the Yeah, for the
It's
stores.
like Mike's pissed off video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gotta be a Game Boy with a World War II Normandy Beach
Right. Right.
outfit on.
Right.
But yeah, no, Pee-wee was dope.
Yeah.
And he is like in that same kind of like wacky.
And he just did what fucking what's his face also did. Just beating off in a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it that was like, we owe Pee Wee Herman a massive apology? Who was it? Somebody was saying
but who
that
was the guy?
recently.
Fred something? Fred Willard or something?
Fred Willard, the
Who
dude.
was this?
Didn't he beat off in a theater too?
Did he?
Yeah. The guy from like Anchorman
Yeah, I
and,
know
like,
it.
and all the Christopher Guest movies.
That-
Yeah, he
when-
got
when he's on the
beaten off in a
Boondocks,
theater.
like he's on the Boondocks. Nigga, what's up, nigga?
Is he really?
Yeah, they had
Oh,
they're like
man.
videos of him in the recording booth when he's doing that. You know that teacher that was
Times
like,
were so crazy.
Yeah.
when you really think about it.
you remember that teacher that was like you remember that white teacher that was like explaining the difference between
Crazy yachts.
Yo. Do you remember
Crazy decade.
Do you remember that teacher that was explaining the difference between like when you say it with a ER, nigger?
Can you
That's
lend a
racist.
nigga? Can you
Can
lend
you lend
a nigga a
pencil?
I have a
They
drop
had-
for that.
They had Fred Willard doing that on Boondocks. And he's like, can you lend a nigga a French fry? How can you borrow a French fry? Are you gonna give it back, nigga?
This is Fred Willard doing
Yeah.
all this? Oh,
Yeah.
It's not nigga, it's nigga.
Nigga.
I have a drop
Well,
specifically
he's
for
talking
that.
about that video.
Yeah. Boondocks was
Yeah.
referencing that video.
Yeah. Boondocks was doing all the
that's
like
funny.
they were doing all the like cultural exports were going to Boondocks before Atlanta
Key
started
and
doing
Peele
that.
did a great job with that kind of shit too.
Yeah.
They did a great job. Like they would make whole sketches based off of like internet characters or viral
Yeah.
videos and
Mhm.
stuff in
Yeah.
a like a tasteful way.
Right. Boondocks would more or less just rip it word for word, but it was still hilarious. It was like that, because that was like in that period when you kind of had a sense that people that made TV were not on the internet. Still, if that makes sense, you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like they weren't
There
carrying
was
shit
that
over.
divorce between the two.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Still.
like they were still like swirling champagne. Like we would never.
Yeah.
We would, and then they come out, and he's just like, "Yeah, in jail, the most important thing was booty. There was nothing more important than a man's butt." Yeah,
This is Boondocks, you're saying?
yeah.
I think
Remember
I've
that
seen
dude?
that video. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, he was like, I would pull him aside, and I would say, "I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours." I
Dude, it's
see
crazy.
you've chosen the hard way.
It's crazy how much like weight going viral in like 06 was
You're right.
Yeah.
versus now.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Like-
craziest one
Nothing.
I caught, I will talk about this until the day I die. Like, meaning I caught it so early before it went viral, was there's a rapist in Lincoln Park.
Oh,
We gonna find you.
Hide your kids.
Oh,
Hide your wife.
Hide your kids,
you saw
hide-
that before it popped?
And
Wow.
I was sharing it when it had like a few, like 1,000 views.
Wow,
Right.
that thing was like
Hide your
the
kids.
whole
Hide
year.
your wife. They raping everybody out
And then
here.
it just went crazy. That
Right.
used to be a thing like in my family.
Yeah.
Because I was like on heavily online and like Reddit. There was a point in time where r/videos on Reddit was like the central virality point. That was
Yeah.
like if
Right.
you started seeing something, if you caught something gaining steam that day and it was
Right.
good, you would know instinctively, oh, this is gonna go crazy. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna go crazy.
Right.
And it may have, I don't know if it was high school or I can't remember when. E-Bomb's World was also like,
I think
Yeah.
the video you're describing was like 2012, something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
I think
Yeah, I
it
think
was
it was
like
in
11,
that
10, maybe.
That had to be earlier, I think.
Maybe it was 2010, 2011.
I feel like I was
maybe
in
even
high
09, I
school.
don't know.
I was definitely in high school then. I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
might have been like 08, 09.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild to think about.
Yeah.
Dude, being there for Numa was crazy.
Oh my God.
Like actually that actually like
I hated that so much.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
You know what?
The dude lip syncing it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is the point of this? This is so stupid. As a kid, I was like, this is so dumb.
You know, 8 or whatever. So I thought it was cool.
Okay, yeah, we were a little older.
I was 10 or something. Yeah.
I was.
So I thought that was pretty neat, but
I also didn't like that one. But you know what? Especially took the life out of it is finding out what those words actually mean.
What is it?
Here we go.
It was.
He's got the receipts. Lay it on us.
Another receipt.
I dated a Romanian girl for a little bit.
Whoa, it's a Romanian.
It's a Romanian song.
It is Romanian, yeah.
And what is it? Coochie? That
no, it just
Numa sounds like something.
No, it's So I forget what the.
Oh man, so many people are gonna be like, oh, that's where your head is. Z.
Yeah.
Oh, so everything's about that.
Everything's about coochie, as you call it. Interesting.
Yeah. It's
where on the anatomy is coochie? Can you explain?
It just means like you want to leave, but you're not taking me. That's what it means.
Wow.
So
my
you're
mind
trying
was
to break
really
up
in the gutter.
Wait, what? You
so
want to leave? Like it's like
vrei să pleci.
It's cold, baby. It's cold outside version, Romanian version.
I think it's like a breakup song.
Oh no!
I think it's a breakup song. It's like,
the phrasing sounded a little
like you want to go but you can't.
Predator
like.
What's the literal translation?
You want to leave but you're not taking me, or you don't want to take me, something like that.
Oh well, that maybe sounds like you're breaking up with me.
I caught a whiff of that.
I hear what you were saying. Also,
well, because you were making it sound like until you hear what it's about, and it's like
no.
But syntactically,
well,
like
it's just
maybe
literally
that is just like you're breaking up with me.
Yeah, I just mean like the way the songs
breaking up with me.
If it was like you try to leave, but I won't let you
breaking
go.
Up with me.
Yeah, baby, it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. Do not go.
Oh my god! Yeah. I'm glad that there was like a collective reflection moment on that song where everyone was like, "Holy shit!"
Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah,
and I feel like that was not until the last 5 years.
I watched like last Christmas. I watched like a Netflix Christmas movie where there's a joke about that in the movie where they're like. Their Christmas caroling, like this song's super fucked up. Did you know that? Let's remix it.
And they try and like make it like consensual or something.
Yeah,
it's like no, that song is fucked.
Just
like,
leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's related to a thought I've had, like a fleeting thought reoccurring over time of like, if someone were to like cover Michael Jackson's whole discography, like, but just change everything so that everyone can listen to it,
right?
Or R. Kelly, same thing with R. Kelly or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like whoever's.
I was having a conversation
had
with
their moment.
Yeah,
someone about this. I think it was about why
keep it in the bathroom.
Well, like
vibe.
He's
like little Aaliyah's got that vibe.
Just tweak little things here and there.
It's a grown woman's got that vibe.
And the whole selling point is, I'm not R. Kelly.
Yeah.
What were you saying though?
like the difference between like why it's easier to maybe listen to Michael Jackson than it is to like watch a stand-up comedian that's like their personality's fucked up. Like I'm basically thinking like Chappelle versus I was having a conversation with somebody, or maybe like even like a director, like their movie. Like I think if your music isn't about the thing that you did or the thing that's fucked up about you, if it's just like this objective thing, that's what makes it the easiest, I think, for people to
I think
relate them together.
What makes it so hard with R. Kelly is,
but R. Kelly is not that. R. Kelly,
in relation to Michael Jackson or like a comedian, R. Kelly wrote so much of his own music himself and so much of other people's music that you gotta, when you listen to his music, you're like, I know this is about Aaliyah. I know. And then you listen to other songs and you're like, I know this is about Aaliyah. fuck. And then you listen to Contagious by the Isley Brothers, and you're like, fuck, he's the dude fucking the dude's wife, fuck. And there's so many spaces where he just pops up, where you didn't expect him to pop up. He's in fucking Same Girl, and then you gotta ask questions about Usher. You gotta be like, how old was the girl in the Same Girl video? Because that's gotta be really embarrassing for Usher to just have a song about how you were fucking the same girl as R. Kelly. That has gotta be a little bit of like a blemish on his personal record. I wonder if he thinks about that all the time, or if he's just completely oblivious.
I was just like, fuck.
He's just like, hey, you know.
I feel like any guy who worked with R. Kelly also, if you worked with him long enough, I feel like you got a whiff of that.
I mean,
didn't he have girls around him? Probably.
Yeah.
Or were they just being shuttled in Escalades?
I'm like, you think he just got...
No, the short is everyone knew. That's the short of it. And
like,
no one gave a fuck. No one cared.
Yeah.
That's the short
like, did he just get a harem of women at the tail end of his career?
Right.
No.
Well, you know, that there's also a filmmaker we will talk about at some point that was similar.
Yeah,
Similarly didn't really care.
The one thing
touch me, baby.
The one thing I want to say on all of that is like, every time this kind of like conversation comes up, I feel the urge and instinct to like try and relate it back to the structural. It's like, because no one does that.
Yeah.
But it's always
muting and stuff, like that type of thing.
You said what?
Like mute R. Kelly, that type of idea? Or are you just speaking
no,
about
the
installation of abuse, that kind of thing?
The organization of the whole entertainment industry, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like, okay, like you can, there's the individual, we're talking about individual people doing fucked up things. It's like, okay, well, what did they do? And okay, it's not a one-off thing. It's actually a fucking, this happens all the time everywhere. And it's like, okay, what is allowing and enabling this to happen? And then people will go, oh, it was his manager. Oh, it was his friend. Oh, it was this other artist. Oh, it was whatever. And it's like, okay, yes, these individuals are like implicit, like this is all like complicit in the situation. But let's look at the power dynamics and the social organization that all of them were inside of, and let's look at the motivations like of all of the people inside of that, and then how the structure is accommodating to those motivations, that being money and whatever. So it's like, and then it's like, okay, so what we're really talking about, like, and people will say, oh, it's a systemic issue. It's systemic. It's systemic. It's systemic.
They'll never dive in beyond that.
They never dive in beyond that. It's kind of just like, well, that's where we end it, folks. Have a good night, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I feel like that's actually the most important part. It's like, why are all of us gathered together in this context? What are we trying to do? And like, how does it operate? And then in how it operates, how do these people they're not enabled, they're almost, not even almost, they're emboldened. They're like, it's reinforced.
Right.
You know, there's like a whole, it's actually just like, go ahead. Actually, I'll bring people to you. Go ahead. Because it could be an in for me. This could be an in for me.
That word systemic, I feel like, has mythologized the whole process to such a degree. That
It's like it's deep, but it's not that deep, actually.
Right. We're like, you got
it's literally this. Like, this is how this fucked up shit happened. This right here, like this triangle, this pyramid. That is how it happened. Right. That's how it happened.
Where you got people at the top of this fucking hierarchy like, yeah, it's a systemic issue. You know, we can't really get to the bottom of it. You're at the fucking bottom of it. You are it. What do you mean? It's like,
you're at the root of the fucking thing. You're at the top of the pyramid.
It's like the fact that it is like a broad, complicated, complex issue doesn't mean there aren't like people you can point to that are at these certain nexuses of it. Right. I'm just like, there are individuals who perpetuate this shit within a framework and with the motivation of money, resources, connections, clout, whatever the fuck. You know, it's like.
But it's carrying the conversation. It's like, what is the alternative? To this. And like, how would it keep rapists and abusers and fucking authoritarian ass people from getting in the place to do what they've fucking done?
Right.
And we've just so happened to catch, you know, a select few and put them on blast. And then you just, in the quote unquote best of cases, you just swap in someone else, put them in the same position. Maybe you open up a new, I don't know, a new office, a new corner, corner in the business where they can a new committee, oversight, you know, advisory board or some shit like that. But it's like, as long as the pyramid stays intact, folks, okay. And that voice is the voice of the bosses and the shareholders and the rapists and the whatever. It's like, just keep the overall thing intact. It's like, well, what if everybody pulled out?
Right. As long as I have no accountability to anybody except making sure they get their money. As long as I don't have to take any type of responsibility for any type of actions, and there's always a person above me who I can deflect to if you come to me with any problems, with any type of issues. And as long as comedians perpetuate this narrative that cancel culture is a real problem, when in reality it's the system that we all aspire to, and the systems that force us into these aspirations, these bourgeoisie aspirations. How long do I have to? Sorry, I was like, how long do I have to keep this up? How long do I have to? But no, man, it's like
aspire though. That's the word
aspiration, and
stood out to me.
And as far as the specifics of the entertainment industry, I feel like there are two things. Like, with comedians, that narrative that cancel culture is the root of all this shit, all these problems. It's like, I understand it sucks to build a whole career and then have it pulled out from under you because you made quote unquote one mistake. It's usually a lot more than that, but we don't have to get into that. Let's say it really was one mistake. Like, to have your whole career pulled out from under you for that reason, sure, it sucks. I can imagine that. But maybe ask yourself why there's a system where you have to entertain people or die or lose everything. Right. You know, you have no foundation beneath the shit that you had to build for yourself. Maybe ask yourself why it had to be so hard coming up that you now make it harder for other people to get where you're at because of some status. Because it threatens your status, and because we have this like stupid moralistic attachment to struggle where comedy has to be hard. Something as supposedly fun as comedy has to be the hardest shit that you've ever done in your life, when like audiences already make it hard. Why do we have to make the shit hard for each other? We could just fucking build each other up and to where we have a safety net where that's not a fucking problem. Because the fact of the matter is, once you get to that point, the people around you support you anyway. Yeah. So maybe it doesn't have to be a whole systemic thing where you're now forced into people's faces because, I gotta feed my kids. You taking food out my daughter's mouth. You taking food off my baby's plate. Just cause I said my gay fans don't have AIDS or whatever the fuck the baby said. It's like, we don't have to, we don't have to do all that shit. So, and I'm sorry, but the second point there is like, you also have like this aspirational element where everybody in the stand-up world that's not in the proper entertainment world has this aspiration to get into that part of it. Right. And then once you get there, like I'm in WGA, I'm in SAG, and they have these season by season pay bumps. At least in the Writers Guild, SAG doesn't really do a whole lot. But you have these every season of a show, you get a title bump and you get a pay bump, and it's like it kind of creates this bubble where you cross over and you immediately don't have the same incentives as the rest of your peers. Right. And then
just creatively, your shit is fucked up. Not fucked even, up, but not even creatively. Different incentive. To be creative.
Exactly. And it's like, so you have that system that propels you into aspiration, whether you have that internalized feeling or not. And so you're kind of like, I don't give a fuck what happens. Next season I'm going to be a story editor. I'm going to be an executive story editor. Right. I'm going to be a co-producer or whatever. And so like it kind of necessarily bumps you out of kind of quote unquote working class status or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't, but it just kind of puts you in a position where you're just necessarily isolated from the people around you, and you just immediately lose all those interests, you know? And it's this sort of the same, like, in an even more like minute kind of way of like the way the Oscars were invented to keep actors from being parts of workers' movements. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To like you get your little trinket. You get to be part of the elite. You know, a little bit at a time. You know, maybe eventually you'll get to the top. If you get another job, you'll get to the top. Isn't that nice?
Right.
Isn't that nice? Don't think about how it's structured or the things that it perpetuates. You don't have to worry about all that. You get to be a co-producer on Big Mouth.
Yeah.
You get to write on Big Mouth.
It's so fascinating the way comedy's been like mechanized. Like there's machinery to it.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I just find it fascinating the people who are like, I mean, like professional comedians and professional comedy writers, like some of them, like the way they think about comedy, like it's just wild because it's like you'll hear them say stuff like you have to come up with like having an endless well of jokes is your best strength as a comedy writer, just endless jokes. And it's like, well, yeah, that's true, but like that's also not like considering like just being funny. Like, wouldn't that just be your? It's just like being a funny person. It's like, no, you can churn out dozens of episodes of jokes and do all this. You can just like, it's volume. It's like very volume focused,
right?
And I feel like that kind of lends to the whole like, I don't know, idea. Oh, we're changing. Okay, gotcha. I feel like that kind of lends to the whole like. Just constantly trying to maximize the profit, constantly trying to extract. Because when you think about it, like the amount of money in comedy and TV, like comedic content in general, is fucking absurd. Like just funny shit is absurd. How much money of an industry that is. So I don't know the way that like affects culture of applying that profit motive and incentive to just the idea of comedy, and then that reflecting in all the comedy we get from television and movies and stand-up and all that shit. It's like, I think that's why it's been so lockstep culturally with like what we're seeing our country turn into, is like, because that's like also where the money is. It's just right.
Well,
yeah, and it's like
I just wanted to say, like, I feel like one thing that can't get lost is like even the framing of the discussion we're having right now is as if these comedians, these people we would consider reactionaries, even have a conception that there is an alternative.
Right.
And so then my brain goes to, okay, like, let's say there was a cooperative entertainment ecosystem. Mm-hmm. The reactionary ideas and culture and all of that stuff doesn't go away. You know, it's still like whether it's festering in this cooperative ecosystem where it's like auxiliary to it or whatever, it's still going to be there. So, and what I'm saying more concretely is like, yeah, let's say there's a structural alternative that, you know, is there's money there, and it's like people can make a living. There's not as much of a concern about, you know, money and surviving and like having a fulfilling career or whatever. I feel like there's another layer to this conversation, which is like around accountability and responsibility. There's like this social layer of like people who just hate the idea that they would have to really think more critically about what they're saying and think more critically about what they're doing and operate in a way where people expect more of them in terms of their behavior or whatever than they currently get in this other place.
Well, it's like people, it goes even more systemic than that, because having a captive audience for those reactionary ideas depends on that system existing anyway. So it's like, it's not even like, oh, the system would hold them accountable. It's also like, they're going out and doing this shit and people are laughing their fucking ass off. There's a bunch of, you can call them dumb, you can call them whatever, but there's a bunch of people conditioned to laugh at those things. Yeah. Whether it be out of spite or just implicit, like that's how they feel. Right. And it's like they feel that way because they're conditioned by the system.
But I think it's a spectrum even on the right wing side of things. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, there's a difference between a Bill Burr and a fucking, who's the reactionary puppet guy?
Tony...
No,
Tony guy?
No. The puppet guy.
Jeff Dunham?
Yeah, right. Like now, in terms of like appealing to, right? Like Bill Burr has Bill Burr has racist fans, and there'll be moments where they verbalize some racist shit off of something he said or did, and then he goes, "Fuck you, no."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then at the same time, he'll drift into other reactionary ideas, and then the second there's this sense of like, oh, what the fuck, you want me to reconsider that? No.
Right.
You know, and it's like, it ties to this point that I was trying to make, which is like, I do feel like it's tied to the structural conversation in the sense that, look, guys, there's this whole other alternative route and solution to all of this shit that you're not seeing, and it squares with the social and the cultural. It aligns. There's consistency over here. Like there's that part of it, but I feel like there's a broader like social part of it that's related to a conversation I brought up before, where people feel like the second there's a social reassessment or a critical reassessment around like social ideas, it gets conflated with being an activist or being like a world changer or people saver, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, well, if I reevaluate, that means I'm taking one step into being the person that cares about anything beyond themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I do think that there's that layer to it for some comedians that are not particularly like forward thinking, and in fact try to hold this bullshit neutrality position in line. Yeah. And it's frustrating. I'm thinking of Bill Burr first because that's how I feel about Bill Burr, because he's amazing to me, but like, and I don't know, I haven't listened to him in years, so he could have changed or something. But like,
when I think of Bill Burr,
or Tom Segura too, that I feel the same way about him.
When I think of Bill Burr specifically, I do think of like, because I would give him a little more credit and say he has attempted to like take those steps in his life, and I think I'm sure there is that element of like, if I go too far, then I gotta go all the way. And so there's like a sort of self-imposed limit. Right. And I think there were points where I kind of felt the same way. I think I wasn't like right-wing reactionary in that way, but I would have put myself in a kind of limiting like
oh, what, I'm Malcolm X now because it's like, I gotta be Malcolm X now because I read a book on intersectionality.
Well, it's not even that. It was like, for me it was
what I gotta be Malcolm X now is hilarious.
Right, like a kid's book. What, I gotta be Malcolm X now. I mean, for me it was more like limiting in the sense that like I was always a little like put off by like how a lot of black comedians talk so much shit about poor white people, and there are reasons for it. Like there's a history of like, you know, conflict in workers' movements and all this, so there's just like that
just settler colonialism in general.
That through line of conflict is gonna be there. It's always gonna be, but
knowing that they're a scapegoat.
Yes,
they're one of the scapegoats.
Yeah, exactly. And it never sat right with me to have that, but I also couldn't really reconcile it with like the knowledge that they like there is that racist thread, and there is all this history between black and white people that's like, regardless of class, you kind of can't really discount it.
Right.
But it is a lot deeper than that, and there's a lot more potentiality beyond what exists, beyond the threads of racism and exclusion and all of these things that are in our face. There's so much more potentiality beyond that, and it was so hard for me to admit that and then verbalize it in sort of in opposition to other black people that were saying otherwise. That's stuff like that makes it very difficult to like, because like when the prevailing narrative is, you know, that poor white people, for example, like there's a very common joke in comedy, like if you're poor and you're homeless, or no, if you're white and you're homeless, you fucked up, because the whole world is out there for you. I'm just like,
it's such a dumb joke when you think about it. It's like that literally is. White people have been getting fucked over since the beginning.
Yeah, and then,
most white people have been getting fucked over, but it's in a social hierarchy where they're fucking over.
Yeah,
you know, you have this racial.
Well, it's also just like mental illness is colorblind. Mental illness will affect anyone.
Yeah, and it's like,
and you're just in this society, you're completely dysfunctional, and if you're, you know, dysfunctionally mentally ill, then you're just
there's that part too, but it's
it's
supposed to be a class joke. It's like it's supposed to be like, oh, you had that white skin privilege and you fucked it up. That's the joke.
You blew it. And it's like, I always had that thought internally, but like taking that step of acknowledging that,
they make up a majority of food stamps, you know. There's people on welfare in this country.
People. But yeah, like taking that step and acknowledging that, like verbally, and then there was a point where I acknowledged that internally, and then I was like, all right, if I go that way, I really gotta like go all the way and be able to back up all my shit, because because when that prevailing narrative is this, then you've got people that if you give the appearance that you're like defending white people in any way, it's like, then you're either anti-black, or you don't know where you came from, or this or that, or just all types of like commentary that isn't grounded in anything, but you can't really argue against it because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But this is a perfect example of like the specific thing I'm trying to strike at. You get what I'm really talking about. It's like putting the crazy, like obviously reactionary comedians. We know kind of what that is. It's a specific type of like comedian that we're talking about, where it's like not all hope is lost for them to like be connected to something broader than themselves, and they're like really kind of like
they're trying to think critically. They're trying to come to it from their own point. They're not trying to like come from some sort of perceived social pressure to feel a certain way about something.
Exactly.
And it's just like,
and it applies.
I feel
beyond
like some comedians
too.
Some comedians, even reactionary ones, doing that. It's almost like performance art to a degree. Like, I don't think
for some of them,
I don't think some of them are like, you know, are going to ever change. But I do think some of them are like, they're just trying to like, it's like a performance art of like, I know I'm flawed and I don't learn and I'm shitty, but also like, I'm going to be like, I'm going to lay out exactly how I'm thinking, whether it hurts your feelings or not. And it may be shitty comedy, it might be whatever, but like maybe there is a degree of like, well, at least this is coming from my conclusions or whatever.
Yeah. It's a catharsis to it too. It's like that thing, and that's what can resonate with a lot of people who, especially white people, who they're feeling this broader quote unquote outside critique or criticism, and they just don't want to feel judged. They don't want to feel guilty, even though it's not about guilt. But that's where this point about the messenger I was going to bring up. It's like, it's also who are you seeing giving the critique, and what is their tone? what is their like, and what is their angle even? Because you could say something that's technically right, but if you're an asshole and judgmental about it, who are you gonna win over?
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
This is like part of the thing too of like the being assigned as an activist or a person who's like into this shit is like I'd see a lot of white creators on TikTok where it's like that's all their content is slamming racists. Like you see a lot of them on TikTok. It's like white person who's like, we have something called racial equality back where I'm from. And we don't how I grew up, I was taught to respect people based on their character. And it's like them slamming some other white person that's like just from Texas or something.
It's like,
okay,
but it's like the problem is systemic. Again, going back to this overused.
But it's also even deeper than that for me because I have, on a long enough timeline, seen what politicized jokes on TikTok do algorithmically versus like something niche or weird.
Yeah.
And it's like you could easily just only make that type of shit and that's it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that fall into that. There's people that make whole careers off of that are like they wanted to be actors, but instead they do that. Like that's kind of what Jimmy Dore realized is like, oh, if I'm just a political guy, I don't have to do stand up. I can just like be on these networks and say a bunch of shit.
And that applies beyond comedy too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put out this thing though, like when I use this word systemic, it's like you're attacking this individual racist person.
Right.
How is that getting to how white supremacy is structurally reflected when it comes to labor, land, housing, food, and so on and so forth? How does that deal? It doesn't. It's another part of it. Can end up being another part of this. Like, sure, there can be a cultural element to it of like gesturing to other white people that this is bad and like this is the energy we got to bring, and like on an interpersonal level, sure, that's cool, that's great. Maybe you help people, maybe you even save certain people's lives in the process. But it's like at the end of the day, that behavior and like an individual feeling emboldened to say and do certain things is an outgrowth of these structures, these institutions that are in place that white people are dominating. And that it's at that juncture of the conversation that we're really just talking about these TikTokers and whatever. We're talking about bread and circuses. We're talking about it's a show. It's like it's a performance, you know, presenting as striking at racism and systemic racism. But it's like, how do you do that?
Now there's a whole industry of like Netflix documentaries and shit about systemic racism. That's now like a coffee table book topic now. It's like, oh, look at this like beautifully done documentary or book or novel or interview or whatever about this thing. But again, it's like so flaccid. It doesn't penetrate anything.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of
it doesn't fuck me and make me come.
It doesn't get in my ass.
It doesn't
my
fuck
dick.
me and make me come. Okay.
The most well-meaning but bizarre. Like,
so flaccid, it doesn't penetrate.
Get in my ass. I can't feel it in my asshole.
We're gonna eat my butt.
The point, yes, I got it.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything.
And I feel like that's a big part of like what gives credence to reactionary arguments is ultimately like people on the like left liberals are not doing anything. There's
it's all getting co-opted into the same.
Yeah, because they're just, you know, shouting into this vacuum of the same logic. So ultimately, you're just gonna end up in the same place with people who are just a little bit nicer, I guess, which is so much more annoying. And they have this, then they can live off this argument of like, well, at least we're being honest. At least we're telling it like it is. At least we're.
I'm your boss, and I realize that, and I'm working on checking my privilege, Yedoye. Okay, and I just wanted you to know that I'm working on that for you.
All right, man. Well, I just needed a.
Oh, sorry.
I just needed a coffee. I just needed a coffee.
Oh, sorry.
We're out of K cups, so I just needed a K cup.
And I'm saying this tenderly.
Okay.
If your performance doesn't
improve,
okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna use that privilege.
And I know you understand. I know you understand.
Yeah, no, I got it.
That's the contradiction of liberalism and neoliberalism.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to be able to reconcile those two things. It's like racism exists, and I'm going to be the boss.
Dog.
It's like no, and the solution is not a black boss.
Yeah.
The solution is no bosses. That's what we're starting to talk about.
Like white people are still spending slavery money. It's just like it's been evaporated into the clouds and rained down again.
Right.
It's the same molecules.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
That's
like
capitalism.
Yeah.
Like, that's
it's
the
like
whole
you have not
idea.
changed anything.
Right.
You're still swimming in the same economic pool. Like
it's called money laundering.
yeah, literally.
Money
You've
laundering.
laundered it into
Right. Chase Bank, dog.
You've changed the sign in front of the town to be a
Right.
different thing.
Right.
Same shit.
There's Scrooge McDuck swimming in a fucking bank vault.
Yeah, think about how many families in America are rich off that still. How many cities exist because of that?
Right.
I just feel like if we had more media with Bruce Willis in it that really struck to the core, then white people would get it. If you have Bruce Willis,
I don't think you understand the contradictions of liberalism. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Shoots a ball in the head.
white supremacy and capitalism are interlocked. Don't you understand that?
Okay,
and
but-
patriarchy.
Okay, but maybe if we had a black Bruce Willis.
It's
Ever consider
interlocked
that
social and
possibility?
economic
Bruce
systems
Willis.
of domination,
Willis.
reinforcing each other in a death spiral. Yeah.
Have you seen those? One person called them adult daycare videos on Twitter of people.
I saw it, but didn't watch it.
People going to like their job. One video that came out recently was someone who was like a consultant at Deloitte, and there was like this all day, like it literally adult daycare is exactly what it is. And it's
I did watch that.
I watched one.
it's just
As a
like free
consultant,
snacks
yeah, she's like
and
23.
break room and oh look at this cute badge and this mug I have.
I ended my
Oh my
day
God.
at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were so busy all day. Here's my cute coworkers. Oh my god, they're so cute.
We
It's like-
finally got to take a break with all of my coworkers.
Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah.
I got to take a break on the clock.
Yeah. I realized this last night. I'm like, I'm tired of working basic ass jobs, and I'm also tired of having to work hard. Like I'm
Oh
tired
my
of both
God.
those at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Oh, you don't want to work hard?
Yeah, no.
You don't want to work hard?
I'll just live in whatever
This is
version
related-
of work
this is
I
re-
You want to
exist.
work or you don't want to go to jail?
This is related to something I
you want to
wanted
end
to
up? You ready to go to the booty house? They got room
This
for you
is
in the booty
something
house.
related to what I wanted to say earlier, like when I was saying like imagining not having to work to live. And I immediately like saw some people's reaction to that statement, like how preposterous they think that idea is.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's no doubt that there's labor that's going to need to be done in order for all of us to survive, and it's never going to go away. But that's different than you're being a wage slave to eat. You know, it's like there's enough in resources collectively for us to take care of the baseline shit. And then even in terms of labor, you know, like allocate, we decide together how much we're allocating to whatever needs we decide we have in a community, you know?
It's the difference between work and a job.
Yeah, man.
A job is bullshit, but there's always work to be done.
Sure.
You
Well,
know?
that's why I say labor, even because work is like people use work and job as
Work sucks.
Yeah.
it's semantic stuff,
but you know,
it's
you
important.
get what I'm saying.
Really
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
important.
I'm really trying to like have the most slow, contemplative, peaceful life. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
So I want to be a fucking hobbit, dude.
Yeah. To be able to just like,
I
I
want
want
to
to
gang
be
up.
on the Shire, dude.
Yeah.
oh,
I want to be a fucking what's his name? Bagginses, dude.
yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of the fuck. There's other hobbit names that are like Flatfoot and shit.
Leroy
Figwit?
Baggins.
Baggins.
Figwit.
Leroy
Baggins.
Oh my
man.
god.
You know what I'm trying to bring back? I'm trying to bring back Ken. I'm trying. Yeah. You got me.
Yeah.
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 That is
What does
so
he say?
dumb.
Cincinnati, stop, move your feet.
DC, beat your feet.
And he's dressed like a fucking guy who works at
A corporate manager, a Trader Joe's
He
manager.
works for bosses that dress exactly like
he was dancing like he was introducing Justin Timberlake to the stage.
DC, beat your feet.
He was doing the sound check for Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. DC, beat your meat.
It almost had like a Barney cadence to like a PBS like Zoom.
That's the
like,
House of Mouse shit.
That's
coming
where he
out.
started. Yeah,
Exactly.
He started doing that.
Exactly.
Mickey Mouse Club. Yeah. And you know,
But what were you trying to bring back?
Oh, I'm trying to bring back can he come out to play energy.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that shit, man. Just friends just
let's
show
nuke
up.
these phones. Get this shit out of here.
Just show up at my house, man.
Bro, etch
up
something
at my
in
house.
etch something in a tree for me, dude.
Yeah. Just fucking
Give me geographical details.
That I
on it.
will find.
When's the last time you just climbed the rock, dude?
Give me some you can't miss it ass directions. I don't want the fucking GPS.
Yeah,
I don't want the address.
Tell
with
me
the
just
ETA.
get on.
Be like, you can't fucking miss it. Just go down that trail, take a right. You can't fucking miss it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that is.
Yeah, when you get past the mailbox, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
My dad would give directions like that. He'll give like the most non-specific landmarks. He'd be like, yeah. Just go down the street, go down Memorial Drive, and then when you get to a mailbox, you got too far. You got to turn around. It's on the other side of the street.
There's a big house with a yard. You
It's a
can't miss
big,
it.
it's a big house with a yard. You can't miss
the-
it. It's got a car out front.
I was at the Met today, and they'll give instructions to the bathroom. I was like, "Where's the bathroom?" And they're like, "It's in the medieval section." And I'm like, "Why is there not a bathroom like right next to your big ass store?"
To be frank, I'm tired of explaining this to people all day long. Find the medieval section on the map, and you will find the bathroom.
Maybe scan the QR code, look at the map, and find it yourself.
No, 9 yet. No.
Yeah. Dude, the Met store is like a luxury. It's like I was like, oh, this is a cute sweater, and I asked him like, how much is it? Because there's no price on it. He's like, that's $75.
That is Scottish wool, hand woven in Scotland, and that will be $315 with tax.
If you have to ask,
They've got like a bunch of shit that's like El Met instead of the Met, like the Spanish version.
Oh.
Like totes and hats and
Oh, that's so sexy, Elmet. I love that.
El Met, wow, great. Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, I had to like, it was the instructions were just like, yeah, if you go down there and take a left, I'm like, this museum is massive. Like, so I had to ask 3 different people where it was. And they're like, yeah, it's just down there to the left.
You ever seen Pagemaster with Macaulay Culkin? You remember when he was running through the library? That's sort of like finding a bathroom in the Met, if you can imagine that. You just got to run around and stumble into some... You've never watched the Pagemaster?
No. What, do you know what the fuck that is?
The people in the comments in the Discord are going to vindicate me on
bastards
this.
being like 18 months older than me. That's the problem.
Dream Away, Babyface, Lisa Stanfield, Go So Hard soundtrack. Amazing.
You ever play the Pagemaster?
I'm gonna send it
game?
to. I'll send you that. I'll play that song for you as soon as we're done recording.
You ever play the Pagemaster game? I never played it.
No. Was this on Genesis or
it was
something?
on something crazy. Yeah, I think so. Something crazy. I don't even remember.
Pagemaster, was that just a guy who reads?
It's Macaulay Culkin, and he basically goes into a lot.
Shit, I just remember it was animated.
Who's the dude from Back to the Future?
Marty McFly?
No,
Doc Brown.
Doc.
Christopher. What's his name?
Lloyd.
Chris Lloyd. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd. He plays this majestic, mystical librarian, bookkeeper. And
Macaulay, I've got to find the right book.
Macaulay walks in. He's like
It's in the medieval section, Morty.
He's like bullied by people, and like I think he's like running away even from bullies, or it's the rain or something, and he goes into the library. It's completely empty except for this majestic librarian, and Christopher Lloyd does his like, oh, explore the books or some shit like that, and then he just goes deeper and deeper into the library and gets lost, which was what my joke was about. And eventually, what happens? He opens a book.
I have not seen that movie in so long.
He opens some books, I think, and they're magical books, and some of the books come to life, and then it turns from live action to cartoon, and now he's like hopping from world to world, like Kingdom Hearts style, but it's like books and like fictional stories. So he's entering these different universes from classic
It's like
Tails.
Wishbone. You ever see Wishbone?
Yes,
It's like
bro.
Wishbone.
I love that.
It's
dog.
extremely corny. Does not hold up at all.
That aesthetically.
Don't open up that book. That's a bad one.
You got the same Robin Williams voice.
Yeah, I'm saying that's Robin
Yeah,
Williams.
exactly. Yeah.
Marty, don't open the book. Oh, no, don't open the book. No.
A poetry is very important.
There's too many books, Marty. Macaulay.
But Dream Away, Babyface, Lisa Stansfield, that's the highlight.
Yeah.
That song is also corny but hard. It's one of those corny, hard songs.
That's like my
Yeah.
shits. They're
Yeah.
corny, but they're hard.
Yeah.
Beauty and the
Solid.
Beast, Peebo Bryson and Celine Dion, another example.
Booty and the Beast?
Beauty, huh?
Oh, I thought you said Booty and the Beast for a second.
Booty and the
I'm like,
breast.
that would be a great porno.
Yeah, booty and
That'd
the
be
breast.
That'd be a great porno.
I'm sure it exists.
It's out there.
Booty and the Beast.
I'm sure
Booty
it
and the
exists.
breast.
Oh my
Booty
God.
and the breast, dude. Breasty and the Butte, dude. And
But
the
yeah,
boot.
Peebo Bryson
Breast.
and Celine Dion have like a classic. I think they got a Grammy for their Beauty and the Beast,
Oh yeah.
their version of that, and it's amazing. Amazing duet.
Beauty and the Beast.
Where are we
Man.
at on time?
Damn, I have not cute.
I was gonna say we're in Brooklyn.
It's 11:30.
Holy shit. Damn.
What time we start?
I think
Nice.
4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It was 9 something. It was between probably 9:15 and 9.
You don't got a stamp on that?
No, I have not been keeping time.
It doesn't tell you on the fucking.
No, it just tells me bars.
It just tells you bars.
Literally, it's ridiculous.
4,337.
I kept track.
bars.
I was keeping track of the time, but I just, go with the flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. You know.
We should
Yeah.
probably call it,
Okay.
unless y'all don't want to.
Fuck.
But
I was gonna mention
by man.
at the beginning. Shout out to the donors because we don't really shout them out. So shout out
Right.
to because there's been some people
Oh,
that have
yeah.
consistently dropped some guap.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we should probably do what everyone else does and have the donors.
Yeah, we'll do
names in
that
the
soon.
credits.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
homie in the trenches. One homie in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
that's
that's
sweet.
100 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's love, man.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Ian.
Appreciate
Also,
that,
thank you a
man.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
it's awesome.
Is Ian in the trenches?
No, but I think he's been nearly this. I mean, he's not in the trenches, but he's.
Word.
I think he's like. I don't want to put his business out there. You know?
Word.
And so you can go see how much he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on Open Collective, so it's in the open.
It's
all
out there.
It
in the
is.
open.
It's
It's out there.
transparent.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you guys watch this and want to see it continue, that would help us out. Promise at some point there will be,
Which camera was that?
Hey.
Oh, what is that?
The
That?
wide, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Start.
I promise there will be, extra bonus shit. We're really just racking shit up.
Yeah.
We gotta start doing like a Kanye thing and have just like a filmographer on us all the time when we're just out and about talking,
Yeah.
and then make vlogs out of it. That's
Yeah.
easy money,
I mean, you know who
easy
actually,
cash. See,
who actually
that's an
does
easy
that?
scheme. What we gotta do is we gotta make CGI baby cartoons and make 5 YouTube channels, and that'll just churn in money. That's a real scam, by the way. But yeah, anyways, thank you, and subscribe to it. And then, I mean, we already, if you're, trying to help from like a labor perspective, go watch the last video we posted. Because we kind of laid out what we need for support. That's not just money. We almost need that more right now. And then, I don't know.
The money
but
will come.
yeah. We're just trying to get to a weekly schedule on this, and on top of that, have plenty of highlights for you guys every day, because I think it's cool to have like a nice long form piece of content like this, but then it's like you get all these semi long form, like 3 minute.
Don't call it that.
Content.
Don't call it that. Call it art. Please.
You get a nice 3-hour piece of art like this, and then you get like
Or even
highlights,
just
like
work.
6 to 8, 8 to 10, highlights and
Yeah.
verticals every week.
You sound like a capitalist, Connor.
Um,
All these fucking numbers and content.
They don't realize why.
What fucking
I'm
happened
here.
to the vibe, man? What just happened to fucking vibing it out, dude?
Connor really fell off. That Connor.
God
really
Yeah.
fell
damn it,
off.
man. Now I'm thinking of all these numbers and shit.
Fucking God.
Doing math in my head. Fuck, man.
The top 1%.
You know what's wild
of the...
is people watching though. They're thinking about this shit too. That's the wild. That's like the level that we're at. Now.
Everyone's a content creator now. That's why.
So, but it's like so everyone's accounting for like the logistics of our production and how we're. Please support.
Yeah, fuckers. This isn't like magic.
Yeah, like don't just like give.
This is
peanut gallery.
This is 6 dudes just doing this. There's no money behind this at all.
You can go on Open Collective and see how much we're not making.
Yeah, this is
nothing.
just fucking off the hardest strength.
Right.
Yeah.
The top 1% that controls the bottom 99% of what we could be making off of this program.
And they'll say this.
The top 1% run shit here. You just live here.
Z and Yedoye, they work very hard.
That was Obama or
No, that was Bernie. Oh, Bernie.
They work very hard.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
That's Bernie.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
We're gonna drone strike a lot of country.
Bernie talks like a white Denzel.
He's like, true program, nigga. I'll have these motherfuckers playing basketball in Pelican Bay.
You motherfuckers.
You motherfuckers. You bastards. You shot me in the ass.
The booty house is still the best.
You want to go to the booty house? There's room for you in the booty house.
And I'll ask you this. Do you want to go to the booty house?
Jake.
Because that's where you'll end up.
Jake. You motherfuckers, Jake.
I didn't know you like to get wet.
I didn't know you like to get wet. That's one thing I did not know about you, is that you like to get wet. It's PCP, angel dust.
We should try PCP on the show, dude.
Yeah, I've been thinking that.
Dude, lace up.
Thinking that.
Fuck. Have you ever tried PCP?
Have you ever tried that?
Just go full Adam 22.
Yeah. Wow, have you ever tried PCP? Whoa. Wow. It's crazy. You were in prison? Wow.
Yeah, whoa. What's that like being high?
So when Lil Dirt and Little Skunk fought each other.
Little Dirt, Lil Skunk, and Lil Critter.
Yeah. Little Critter and Little God.
Little Criddle.
Yeah. When Lil Krillin and XTC 40. Yeah.
Little Critlin Krillin.
Wow.
When Lil Bear, when Lil Fuck, man.
Yeah. When Little Fuck and Little Shit fought at fucking what's the Florida Super Tide, what's it called? Rolling Loud?
Rolling Loud.
When they fucked at Rolling Loud, did you sell them the fentanyl in that situation? Oh, you sucked his dick. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Nice.
How many dicks have you sucked?
Yeah.
Really? That's a lot of dicks.
I know I do porn, but what's your body count?
Yeah. You ever like fucking have sex?
I'm like, damn, does it get old? Like, it doesn't get old.
Bro, I cannot imagine the mind you have to
For
have.
him, it got old. It has to have gotten old.
Bro.
Yeah, he looks bored.
There was a clip of him explaining how many podcasts he does a week or a day, and it's just like absurd. I'd be like, there has to be... there has to be something missing, like for you to just be like able to like spiritually just thug through all that. Like, I'm interested. I mean, just act interested for money.
This is not living. It's not
life.
Adam
22 interviews 16 people a week.
How can life be like this?
When he was attacked by a bear, interviewing Little Shit and Little Krillin.
Every single day, he records 3-4 podcasts a day.
It was a cartoon made by Akira Toriyama back in Japan in the 80s.
Akira. It was the beginning of anime in America.
Majin Buu.
Do you remember this?
A pink guy named Majin Buu.
Before that, it was the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
He absorbs the androids and he becomes perfect Cell.
The android saga ends with Perfect Cell
and he
turning into a big fat blob
when he's finally blown apart by
Bruce
Teen
Willis.
Gohan.
Bruce Willis made 500 movies this year, and we have been documenting it the entire time.
Bruce Willis has been attempting to learn the Kamehameha.
Yeah. Yajirobe is a fat, unruly, is a mischievous, fat, and lazy character in the Dragon Ball Z.
But he comes in handy every now and again.
Yeah.
For example, when he cut
When
off
he cut off
tail,
Vegeta's tail because he's a Saiyan.
because he had fallen prey to the full moon of his own making.
A
his
race
own
of
design.
superhero monkey soldiers named
Who become Ubermensch.
the Ubermensch.
The
Who
king.
become
They would,
Aryan gods.
Yeah.
the Saiyan race, they were dominated by the King Frieza.
Yeah.
He was based on housing developers in Japan, but you could argue he's something more akin to a slave driver.
A gay goth lizard named Frieza came down to Earth.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Cut into bits by Trunks from the future.
Frieza was serving Cont for sure. If we're gonna say that, if we're gonna use that phrase, I'd like to pitch that one out there. He was.
Frieza was non-binary for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the greatest
What are you
examples.
talking about? You have genders.
One of the most...
You inferior scum.
There's more. I can't even. It's more gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best
Sounded like a
examples of...
Kakarot.
The most well-known examples of gender fluidity in anime.
A gender fluid pink pearly lizard named Frieza.
There's Frieza, and then there's Inosuke from Demon Slayer.
Yeah. An angry man named Vegeta.
I thought y'all had it out of your system.
No,
No,
absolutely
now
not.
we're just having fun.
Yeah.
So we're like trying to think of. This is what happens.
Well, I was just thinking about how John Malkovich sounds like an American Werner Herzog.
If John Malkovich and Werner Herzog had a conversation together, that would have the most periods in any dialogue you've ever heard. The most consonants would ever be used.
How are you how are you pausing and speaking at the same time?
How do I say every word with a period at the end of it?
This is the most staccato form of
Yeah.
speaking. Musically, it's just staccato.
His voice is naturally EQ'd. Like, it's like
yeah, he had a great quote on Found. He was like, I get a lot of compliments on my voice until I started a career as an opera singer, and then the compliments stopped.
The last one I have is he scanned Goku and it was over 9,000 ago. Over 9,000. Nappa.
No.
Not to be mixed up with the tire company that is very popular.
One of my favorite facts about the Dragon Ball universe is that all the Saiyans are named after vegetables.
Goku is a type of radish.
In Kakarot it's a carrot.
Carrot.
It's a carrot.
Vegeta, vegetable.
Vegeta is vegetable.
Radish. What the
Radish.
fuck? You're right.
Yes, and Beerus is named for beer.
Oh, great vegetable.
Bulma's family, of course, is named after women's clothing, underwear.
Her last name's Underwear?
Her last name is Brief, Bulma Brief, and
Oh, that's fine.
and Bulma. Her daughter is named Bulla, which is bra.
Oh, Buddha.
Trunks, of course, is Trunks.
What the fuck? Yeah, you're actually right. Is this a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's a very real thing.
Oh, that dude's weird, man.
Yeah.
That dude's real fucking weird. Anyways, that was fun. Fun jaded episode. Please donate to. I'm going to talk like this the rest of the night into the work week.
I'll be the American version. I'll be John Malkovich as we wrap it up. So if you would like to go to the Open Collective and give us some fucking money,
Give us fucking money.
some fucking money, so that we can continue our fucking production. It's a crucifixion.
if you guys could help, it would be really great.
Yeah.
That would be
Do
great.
you want more of
That'd be
this?
great. I would love.
Hello.
I mean, chuckle time.
You're a fucking Mormon. Everyone has a drinking problem.
How about 3 chucklepreneurs make it in the chuckle biz?
Yeah.
Anyways, that was fun.
It was a
Shall
good
we
time.
clap on the silent 4?
On the silent 4. Let's do it.
I'll count us.
You can count it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
I realized on the Dragon Ball Z name thing really quick. Chi-Chi is dad. In Japanese.
Is that
it
dad
really?
in Japanese? Chi-Chi?
But Chi-Chi is the mom.
Oh. Wow.
What the fuck?
And I've never looked into that, why that is.
Did you just think of
Well,
that?
because
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Goku is a terrible father, but
Yeah, he's not a father.
yeah,
He's just a guy.
but that I guess that.
He's like, whatever they fucking say, Chi-Chi.
But she
Right.
also would have been named in Dragon Ball before they ever had kids together. I don't know.
Weird. Can we do the clap again? I want that fact in there.
Well, we can just punch that in.
Let's do
Yeah,
the clap again. It was a fake clap.
yeah.
Now they're getting it wrong.
Fake clap.
Goku and Chi-Chi.
It's a 10th episode. There needed to be something special
Yeah,
about
there you
this
go.
episode.
You
You
got
got
this-
fake clapped out.
Exclusive behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes look at Chi-Chi's name. Goku and Chi-Chi, they've never kissed. They've never kissed.
Frankly. All right. 1, 2, 3.